So, um, after moving through Daggerford, and latching on fairly quickly to a more advanced, smaller caravan, um, you've been on the road, continuing this journey north, the short distance from Daggerford to Waterdeep. Waterdeep, excuse me,
God, God, God bless.
looms in the horizon, and you've gleaned a few things in the most recent
What is
days of
that?
travel.
Oh,
Um, as you approach Waterdeep, the city of splendors, you now know to some extent, thanks to a strange gnome who's kind of hinted at, also being aware of the cultists, that they plan to continue north past Waterdeep, hugging this older abandoned road that wraps along the coast between the Sword Mountains and the Sea of Swords. And there is a swamp basically called the Mere of Dead Men. And
oh.
you don't know much beyond that, but you do know that as this caravan approaches Waterdeep, its next destination lies somewhere on the coastal region versus the long road that heads towards Red Larch. And a friendly recap prior to that, you had heard mention, like, there's always plenty of roadhouses that you all have passed in this 60-day journey you've been on. A roadhouse is just a fucking inn or a tavern, something along the road that has sprung up in service of some of the traffic that moves along some of these larger highways in this region. But you heard a tell of something more specifically referred to as like a specific place called the Roadhouse. And some of the cultists and other people had mentioned that, I believe, during your interrogations, several weeks back before now. You listened in or looked in on the camp of some of the guests of this newer caravan. One of them, a gentleman wearing a strange, fairly full coverage hat, who the gnome indicated was likely a red wizard in disguise, who was mingling and having conversations with whom she thought were other cultists in this group. As a strange turtle joins your group, you only have more confirmation from other other factions or other parts of the Harpers from the north, who were also sort of in the loop within their own communication network, implying that more agents like yourselves have been sent to look in upon these cultists and figure out what the fuck they are up to. And it is here, just outside the southern city, the southern road leading into Waterdeep, where we pick up tonight. So,
Lovely.
the ball is in your collective courts at the moment.
I can't remember what we need to do.
Need to get to Waterdeep. And I think
Yeah.
we're like a day's out, right? Or are
Yeah.
we just right there?
Yeah, you're about. Again, like, time can move as fast or as slow as you all like, but you were about a day's out when we left off. And like, out of character, I mean, for a lot of this, road trip fun that we've been on, it's certainly time. What we gloss over and montage through is kind of dependent on whether or not you all want to do anything, investigate anything, talk to anyone, etc. So just be vocal about that.
Gra wants to check his little container of mud
Oh,
again.
okay. Roll a nature check.
Gra rolling a nature check.
That's neat.
And
A
nature check.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's swell. Oh.
That's pretty neat.
Gra,
Yeah.
you still admire your finely collected and curated sample of dirt.
Brad sticks his finger in it and he licks it.
Tastes like dirt.
Oh. He's getting dejected. He's thinking it's a waste of time. He's gonna give it one more day and then he's probably gonna throw the dirt out.
I mean, I don't know what if Orc can see this. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it will continue growing. Just give it a little bit of time.
Orc, you want to test some of this dirt? What?
No.
Take a little swig. Yeah, and I stick my fingers up to him.
No.
Just take a little bite.
Maybe our new friend Matsu would like some.
Hey, Rockman.
Hi.
You live in the dirt, right?
Hi.
I wanna-
I do live in the dirt.
What do you think about this dirt?
That is no ordinary dirt. I have seen many dirt. Very unordinary dirt.
Can you tell me anything about? Am I growing anything in it?
Is it extraordinary?
It's extraordinary.
Alright, well,
Can I roll anything nature-like?
Oh,
Look, can
yeah.
I look further into the dirt?
There you
What is
go.
he doing,
That's
Maxa?
a much that second recap there was a much better phrasing of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of hand the sample to Matsu.
mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, Matsu. You hold the jar of dirt up. Make a nature check for me.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, one sec. I gotta see which one of these is.
How's your nature check?
Under the skills
I don't
tab.
see. It's in skills. Oh, right. Okay, nature. Found it.
And then
And a 1.
Oh!
One, 2, 3,
the
go!
fake out.
It said
Uh,
15.
Oh, it
I
said
know.
18 on mine.
Yeah. You kind of you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's dirt.
Oh, Ron. This is definitely dirt.
Oh, that's what I suspected. And I screw the lid back on.
It's. Do I have it? I have it in my hand, right? So you just
Yeah.
screwed the lid on while I'm holding it.
Sure.
So
Makes
mid screw, I'm just gonna tuck it over my shoulder.
Gra does like the baseball catcher's mitt, and he goes to swipe it.
Okay. Make a dexterity save.
Jesus, you're really making me do this.
Just so you loosen it up there. Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah, he
Yeah,
loves
you-
that dirt.
But like I do it behind his head, so he thinks he just threw it over his shoulder like it was
Gotcha.
nothing.
Okay. Nailed it. All right. anyone
can
else
I,
up to? Yeah.
Can I look around and see if there's anyone around us?
He's
You-
perceiving.
You can. During your where are you? Would you say so? Like most of these guys, most of your collective group, if you zoom way in on your wagon, actually even better. Let's do wagon.
Give it to me.
Give you a little wagon action.
Oh, there it is.
You know, most of you all, like, this has been constructed with, being on the road in mind. Like, most of you all aren't going to be on foot or on horses, but you would be in your wagon in some capacity for most of the trip. So, when you say looking out, are you, like, if you imagine up front here, there'd be horses, like, you have I think, did we say 2 or 4 horses on this,
I want to
you
say
said the two, right? Yeah, Carl.
I think
and
we had 2.
Well,
Dum-dum.
I'm interacting with Gara, so where's Gara?
I generally perch up on the top in a
Okay.
Okay,
barrel.
so we were
You're up, you're up
we
on
were
the-
having a conversation up top, I guess.
I would like to think I'm playing some music in the front of the car. I'm not driving, but I'm sitting next to whoever's driving.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
driving.
Grimlaw. Oh, no. Okay, perfect.
I'm driving.
Like
Or-
this. I'm gonna use this. Driving.
Or it will
There's
be
horses
sitting.
in front.
Like right behind Krennic and 9 with his back kind of against the.
I'm super good at driving.
Oh wow.
Krennic's driving. Is Grandma
As
still
owls do.
out there? Or has he been relieved of duty?
He's relieved of duty, yeah.
Okay.
Or, I mean, I'm on the inside. I'm just right by the door. Just
Yeah.
whittling something or making
Yeah.
arrows.
Grandma's probably up in the loft in the hammock or something. Okay.
Damn Grimoire.
I like it. I like it. We got a fucking wagon view, ship view. Okay, so you guys are up there. So jumping real quick back up top, have you noticed anything interesting over the last couple hours? I think is kind of the rough idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Which tab is perception on?
All that stuff will be under your skills.
Alright, skill.
Skills, get some.
Perception. Got it.
Boom.
Alright.
Oh my Jesus!
Nice.
What do you even do here?
I'm a narrow-
You've
I'm
kind of had
narrow
this
vision, okay.
1,000-yard stare for almost the entire day. And you're like, what have I seen? And like like the dirt is almost bringing back like PTSD of being buried in the ground in the previous caravan. And like you are just fucking
Montage.
glazed over. You felt like with some level of paranoia at one point that a lot of the other people in this caravan that you've rejoined, the same caravan that put you in the ground, arguably, they've been kind of like looking towards your wagon at times now that you've joined this new group. But you can't decide if it's in your head or if you're just being a little crazy. And you kind of sit contemplating in that line of thinking for most of the morning. What's everyone else up to?
Strumming away. I'm Nine's kind of, I mean, he's surveying, but not intently, not looking for anything particular.
Okay.
Do you guys have, like, are you guys in disguise? Orc turns around and looks at Krennic and Nine.
Great question.
I still have my disguise of the dude that was being carried away that one time. I've never taken it off. I'm still wearing it. And I have my billowing cape back on, if you must know, and it looks fucking glorious. Thanks, Krennic. Who gave that to me? Or
It was a team effort.
thanks, team.
The barrel shakes a little.
Okay. What is everyone wearing or using at this point in your journey?
Gra appears to be a barrel on top again,
Okay.
with a little hole in the front.
To see out of?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Krennic's just wearing his robes. Got his elvish cloak.
Is it
up.
pulled down?
Yeah. Yes. Up or pulled down, however you wanna. It's on, active.
Orc also has his cloak, and he changes the color of it, because the enchanted one where you can change to whatever color you want. So he changes the color of his jacket.
I mean, that's cool.
Robe.
Or
Cloak.
you can be whatever you want, but that's also very gay.
The cat says.
Just kidding.
The flamboyant,
That was-
bejeweled cat.
Yeah, with his rings.
Everyone.
Yeah, being weighted down by his hands.
I think yeah, you could catch it like a tinge of like jealousy in the voice. You know, like he's trying to like neg you out of your own cloak.
I'm trying to like make sure that mine's
Yeah,
billowing
it's
well
like
enough that
it's like
cooler.
if I could
still.
only get him to combine the billowing with the color changing, to be like an animated gradient of color whilst billowing behind you, then you'd really have a little stage presence.
A cat can wish. Cat can dream.
Okay. What collectively are you all thinking in terms of like what you want to do as a group? I imagine
So-
throughout
I
the
guess.
days of travel, there's conversations, there's thoughts, there's thinking. I need you to vocalize that so I can narratively walk you through where you go here.
Oh, okay. Oric, wait, is Oric, are you up front too, or close to? Within
Yeah,
earshot?
I'm sit with my back like to the door where you guys like can come inside. Just
Uh, swing the door open.
And like fucking brass tacks, like if you all want to have like a mini, this is what our characters know, kind of like breakdown
It's
before
kind of what I'm
we
doing.
decide what we're doing next here, I'm
Yeah.
into it because
Help.
it could be
User
important.
disconnected from your
So
channel.
I open the
I know.
door and I say,
Ow.
wait, did Oric leave?
He said he put his finger up like 1 second.
God damn it, he's the one I had to ask because I was about to start that
User joined your
conversation.
channel.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oric, so we are getting pretty close to Waterdeep. What should be our first task once we get there?
I mean, the question is, do we need anything in Waterdeep? I believe that our task will take us north past Waterdeep. Are we short on supplies, or I don't know
I
how
don't
to.
think so.
I
I
don't
think
know
we
how
have
to-
everything we need.
Oric,
Mhm.
why don't you make a insight check for me?
Yeah, you starving.
You recall, while other people were traipsing around trying to eavesdrop on the bald guy with the hat, you recall some people talking about that roadhouse and how the Lord of Neverwinter himself has been funding essentially what amounts to a very organized effort to rebuild the road between Neverwinter and Waterdeep. And
Oh.
that the only real traffic going anywhere north of Waterdeep on that road has been under the heavily guarded protection of this company and their employees. Some of them, you gathered this from some of them kind of like whispering about, like, these were other guards who were hired on for some of these trips, talking about what their next secrets would be like, like things around the campfire, like, or at night, like, oh man, are you taking the journey back south with another caravan? Are you hiring on for that? And then like this is where you probably heard like some rumblings of a few guys talking about, or maybe a few dwarfs, joining like the crew building and traveling north on that road project.
Okay, and that road project is the one that leads to shit. I
Yeah,
closed my map.
you all would know.
The long road, right?
The
Yeah.
long road
Okay.
is the
Okay.
only road that currently goes north of Neverwinter. It'd be fairly common knowledge for anyone around these parts that along the coast to the west of the mountains, the Sword Mountains, north to Leylon and Neverwinter, the
Yeah.
old high road. Ever since Mount Hotenau erupted about 60 to 70 years ago,
Oh.
and completely smelted a village between Neverwinter and the Neverwinter Woods. Things have been strange on the former high road. It's been flooded out by the swamp waters and completely abandoned and is no longer in use.
Are there all these pirate ships in Waterdeep?
Not pirate ships. Waterdeep is a incredibly large, incredibly wealthy city. Is
Okay.
one of the biggest cities.
Okay.
If pirate ships were what you were after, that would be Luskin to the far north.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready to make a pass by.
Sorry, Pity, real quick.
Yeah.
The road that was under construction, that is the long road, right? That's not the high road.
Incorrect.
Which one is it?
So as you go on this blue line,
Yeah.
that is an old abandoned road. Used to be called the High Road.
Okay.
That is the one that is under construction. It's basically like the Lords of Neverwinter and Waterdeep are trying to rebuild a more direct route of traffic between their two megacities. Currently, you would have to go far around or travel by sea. And that is where the Long Road or the Sea of Swords would come in.
Okay.
While we're kind of conversing this stuff,
Yeah.
It happens in Mind's memory that there was that a goblin or gnome that we met in Daggerford,
Yeah.
and he's
Her,
looking around.
this strange bald guy, and the rest of the other caravan that you tacked onto, kind of all came together around Daggerford, along with Matsumoto, the turtle.
Mhm.
It's me.
Turtle.
Yeah, if you could please stop saying turtle. Am I able to open a dialogue right now?
Yeah, it's kind of, like, time can always move, like, out of character. Time can always move a little strangely in D&D, especially in a scenario like the one we're in. And it's very kind of like open forum. Days, weeks have gone by, and there's no point belaboring through every minute of every day. So, things that you would have been talking about with the other characters, you can kind of bring that to the conversation as we go through here. Yeah.
Gra,
Oi!
are you on a mission?
Yeah, I am actually. You want to hear about it?
Could you please explain to me your mission?
Right, the barrel kind of vibrates a little as he explains that I'm here to bring honor back to my disgraced family. They've grown weak, and I'm here to show the world that Goliath can have more power than any person. I'm here to show the world that I can take on any challenge, defeat any monster at any cost.
Are all of your missions different? Do you each have different missions?
I believe, Gra's voice gets a little lower so the rest can hear. I believe that we have separate missions, but we all serve the same two factions. We've come together to fight this great evil, the big blue one-eyed dragon that almost killed all of us.
What is the blue dragon's name?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
I just want to kill it.
And then I'm not listening to the conversation, but hopefully,
I mean, you are down
Matsu-
below in the driver's seat.
Hopefully
It's
Matsu-
arguable you could have picked up some of that.
hopefully Matsumoto hears me practicing my new song, "One-Eyed Willie the Blue Dragon." Still working
How's that
the
one
kinks
go?
out. I don't know yet. I'm still working the
Can
kinks
I
out.
roll to see if I hear whether or not? Can I
Tells the
hear
tale.
Can I hear
Okay.
Casey? I mean 9.
Can you hear him playing, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well I mean, if you're
Canting the
all
tail.
if you're all still up top, I mean, you could definitely hear the music, but I mean, you're asking
Okay.
if you can more precisely hear, like, the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that, in moments like this where we're just kind of freewheeling a little bit, like you're like, oh, you kind of hear distant music, you could totally like fucking lean over, start listening in a bit more intently.
Okay. I lean in intently towards 9. Because I
Okay.
hear noise.
Yeah.
I'm singing the song about the because I don't know the words yet. I can't think of it on the spot. There once was a dragon who came for the wagon. He had two big, beautiful eyes.
I can't help but start tapping my foot to the rhythm of the song.
Auric told Grimlaw the little dumb, the little dumb. What is he? Kobold. To load up the ballista and let it fly.
Oh,
then-
wow.
That's about all I know so far.
Okay.
Nice.
But I wink at when I say dumb Grimlaw. I wink at him because I don't know if he even remembers this happening.
Krennic, what would you use to check your dragon lore? Let's see. I mean, because with your background,
Yeah.
I would think it would probably be history. But
I can automatically identify locations built or used by dragons, and it can identify dragon eggs and scales by sight.
Oh,
okay.
And then it's an intelligence check to recall lore relating to dragons.
Yeah. So
but
I mean, that'd be history.
would be nice.
Yeah.
If I wanted a bonus in it.
I mean, I would, for your background, like, I would think history is spot on. So
Okay. I'm proficient in history too.
while you're sitting near the orating bard,
the dragon kills you.
Are you gonna
You're
correct
dead.
my shit?
Oh no.
Oh no!
He nailed it.
Yeah, it's definitely One-Eyed
Accurate.
Willie. That's the name of the dragon. You've heard of him.
Oh,
You've
no,
heard
no,
the
I know
legends.
I know it's not One-Eyed Willie because that doesn't sound like a dragon's name, but
Yeah.
I would agree with Nine's
With the tail.
with the tail. Yeah, because it just sounds better.
Nine, could you also make a history check for me, being
Oh, of course. Are
a
you kidding me? Yeah.
well-learned bard of many
Ah.
colleges?
Yeah,
We've
I
already
am
rolled
definitely.
2 ones tonight. Let's go.
Hmm.
Oh!
Not
Aw.
today.
Okay.
There's a
I'm
one
gonna,
in
I'm
it.
gonna do more of this. I'm gonna send you a message on the discords here.
His name is
I have
Two-Eyed
a
Willie.
quick question.
Yeah.
Features. Can I use those during right now?
Oh, well, I mean, like, features, you can always use anything, right? Like, the one thing for me, and, like, if it's something that's coming from a place of, like, well, this, oops, one sec.
Because I have something that it's favorite enemy for dragons. Can I like also that to see if the story is true? Or like if I recognize the story in the name or something? Like maybe I know the name based off of the story.
Damn. Playing D&D hardcore.
So, why
That was
don't
way
you...
off.
Name is
Actually-
Green One Eye.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a history check, Matsu.
Alright. I got it.
What?
You're still just in that 1,000-yard stare up top there.
Ah!
Dude, you're saving them for combat. That's why.
Yeah.
You're
it's
saving
important.
yourself.
Yeah.
Those rolls tonight.
I've had like sub 5 on all of my rolls.
You are a turtle.
Please stop saying turtle.
Yeah, could you stop saying that word, please?
I can't tell the difference between the two, honestly. Turtle. What are you saying?
I stare at the floorboards. Stare
Okay.
at my turtle hand.
Some of your song making continues. Do you care to expand further, or shall we move on with the day?
We'll
Up
move
to
on
you
with
all.
the day. That-
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you
No?
meant with the song.
Okay,
Good to move on.
so I suppose we should try to come up with a plan, right, for what we're doing?
What exactly is it are we doing?
The wagons at this point have done their regular routine of stopping midday, giving the horses a break. The caravan itself has sort of come to a halt at this point.
Here's what I know. We are pursuing the dragon cultists to find out. Well, we know what their plan is, to bring back all the dragons, but we don't know how, and we don't know where. So we're trying to subvert their like infiltrate their caravan, find out where they're going, how they plan to do it, and then we can, I don't know, maybe get reinforcements and an army to show up and fight the dragons.
Definitely going to the roadhouse.
We've done a pretty terrible job of, infiltrating their caravan, haven't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're
It's
not
not
very
looking
good at
great.
disguise. Someone got away, by the way, who knows us, who's seen us.
Really? Who got away?
Remember the one that led us to the turtle here?
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Forgot about that.
shit.
Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah,
So
we fucked up bad.
that's the plan. I mean, we do have our own. Maybe we can stall while our own baby
so I'm gonna
dragon.
peek- I'm gonna peek
in-
my head over the side, over the edge, and like join this conversation. I'm extending my neck.
Sorry. Remember our dragon friend in Altero? So it's like if we can just stall them to be able stall the bad guys in order to raise this dragon to fight for us. then that would also give us a chance in the coming war.
Hmm.
A
that's it.
barrel tiptoes up to the edge of the cart. It's down precariously next to everybody.
I may know a thing about the cultists. I know a thing.
What
Okay.
do you know?
Would you like to tell us the things that
How
you
do
know?
you know?
What
I
is the
know
thing?
because of Sister
Oh, I like her.
Oh, Sister
Yeah,
Gairel.
yeah, Sister Gairel. The cultists, they were funneling through the roads north of Waterdeep. And
Yeah.
we should go there.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's-
we are
that's it,
definitely
is
going
You know-
to
exactly
But
where we are going.
did she say the high road?
Yeah, which way should we go? The long road or the Mere of Dead Men?
I believe
To
the
the construction, the high. I think that's the high road.
yeah, that's the high road. Yeah, I was
Mhm.
about to say that.
Yeah.
Because dwarves didn't make it, but whatever.
Oric,
So with my turtle intelligence, I say confidently, we must travel to the high road.
Okay, but that begs the question. You know, we're not part of their caravan. If that's a closed road, then we'll be out in the open. We'll be traveling alone because we can't join their group. They'll know something's up.
Yeah.
Oric, hey Oric. I feel much more comfortable hugging the mountains as I am a Goliath and a mountain folk.
Just
Perhaps
imagine
we should
Gra
take the
trying to actually
leftmost.
hug him.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps we should take the leftmost road and hug the mountains, the more trustworthy way to go.
No,
Okay.
no, I agree with you. I'm saying that we're not gonna blend in, right? It's a
What?
closed
I blend in
road.
with that. Look at me, I'm a barrel.
It's a closed road, right? Like if we're traveling alone in our covered wagon here, they know no one's supposed to be on the road but them, right?
Well, it
So
depends. Is it a big caravan? Lots of people? Or is it just cultists at that point?
That is the question. And I would
Yeah.
argue probably just cultists.
I am looking. I'm gonna climb up on top of the thing while they're not like clamoring or anything. I'm gonna climb up there
Yeah.
and kind of keep my eye out for Miss Log Jamna herself.
Mm-hmm.
Logjam. Oh,
I'm curious because, and also by the way, I haven't been eating food after the whole porridge incident, and I've been living only on beer. So I'm a little bit intoxicated constantly.
Okay.
Are you taking the green
Little
beer
bit.
or the regular beer?
You know, a little bit from A, a little bit from B. Depends on what I need.
Roll a perception check.
Of course.
You fail instantly. You're drunk.
Kind of
Oh.
fucking- I am drunk, so I
Yeah.
It's
guess-
perception. No, that's perception.
Hmm.
Different.
Yeah, well, the roll's still the same.
Yeah, you're scanning, and you immediately kind of regret climbing this high in your current state.
Rob picks him up by the scruff and puts him in the barrel with him.
As far as you can tell, you don't notice her anywhere nearby, in the sort of parked caravan at the moment.
I remind Gra and Krennic when he pulls me down to keep your eyes out for Miss Jamna. She might be able to help tell us which one is the which ones are the ones we want to assimilate with.
Yeah.
Hey, perhaps we could go to could meet up, go to the roadhouse and get more information about where these cultists are headed and how
we-
they're doing it.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually a great idea. Do we remember which road the roadhouse is on, or do we gotta? Do you know?
Per your previous recollection, you only recall people talking about this roadhouse as being I think it was during your interrogation of the one cultist. He talked about it being the handoff point,
The
essentially.
main drop.
Yep, the main drop. Other than that, you don't know where the roadhouse is.
Perhaps we could go to a town near, because Westwood is just east of where we're the
Waterdeep.
high road is, right?
Waterdeep is where
Ooh,
you
right
will
next to it.
be probably before this day is over, and then
Oh, okay, we're
from
gonna be at
there,
Waterdeep.
Yeah,
Westwood is
sure.
actually nestled on the opposite side of a very large mountain range
Okay.
than where
Per
this high road is.
Perhaps when we reach Waterdeep, we could try to find a band of cultists and steal their outfits, and then we could
Matsumoto!
travel, and then we could travel the high road.
I quickly lean into Critic's back. We have a few of these robes somewhere in here, dude. We not have
We
them.
do.
Clothing
Robes
somewhere.
already?
We murdered a shitload of them.
We do. It's just that we are also a bird, and now a turtle, and a giant, and a cat,
Feline.
What?
and
And
a dwarf.
And a beard.
Bearded dwarf.
And a beard.
We can't craft these into
I'm the most normal one.
outfits.
Yeah.
I hope
That
you
is
do
racist, sir.
Is there any way that we can craft them into outfits?
No, they are outfits. They are legit outfits.
Yeah.
They
I
have
have a-
outfits that they wear.
You have a variety, like, yeah, as he explains this, I don't know if you're, like, fucking opening your trunk or your rolling wardrobe.
I imagine everybody just kind of like.
Yeah.
wearing the-
But not
Hey,
only
you want-
not
you
only
want
are
one?
there exact replica outfits, but there are a variety of different ranking, cloaks and coats and swords
Oh,
and
yeah.
other things.
Why don't we try and hobble together like something?
I think that I don't necessarily think it is a good idea for us to dress as a cultist going to such a town like Waterdeep. I think it might be a good idea. Hear me out now, Ulrich, and I look towards Ulrich because I know he's going to be disapproving of this. I think we should go to the nearest tavern for a couple of reasons. I would like to eat food that is different than beer, firstly, and then I would like some more beer. And maybe it is one of the best places to get information from.
Hey, Krennic, how much has he been drinking?
And
I think the
deep in it
cat's
right now.
drunk. I think he just wants to get laid and drink more.
All of it.
So
We're
my
almost out.
my thought is, do we have a way to? Surely one of the caravans, maybe the one with the guy with the hood. We know he's probably a red wizard, right? Do we have a way?
Based on what the gnome was telling you, and if you
Yeah.
believe her,
The guy with the tattoos.
yeah,
do
you
believe us.
if you believed her, your characters, then you would think, yeah, he is a red wizard trying to hide that he's a red wizard.
So if we have a way of just keeping track of that particular one, because the thing that we just need to find where they're going, right? That's part of our whole quest here.
Your number one your number one and really only directive from your superior agents before leaving El Turil was to stick on them like white on rice and to figure out where they're going and where their horde is being taken, and then if possible, like what the fuck they're actually doing. You all would have been briefed and very familiar with some of the knowledge that they have of previous incidents with cultists, the dragon cultists, and that is that they're sort of their modus operandi, and this is definitely a Krennic specialty in terms of insight. Just in just fucking raw common knowledge for you is that previous times in history, the cult of the dragon was notorious for being driven to trying to summon a Draco Lich, which is like an undead fucking dragon. And now sometimes they did it by bribing a living dragon to go along with their crazy ritual with promises of like servitude and ever living or just fucking being undead and living forever. And other times they've done it in more sinister ways without, let's say, the dragon's cooperation. So, your superiors, like especially Leo Sin, who is been following the cultists for a couple hundred of his elvish years, believes that that's his best guess for what they could be up to as far as history goes, but he doesn't know for sure. And that's kind of where things began for you all when you first were set off on this road. So, the number one thing for them, I think, is for you to find them, report back as soon as possible, but also, hopefully allow them enough time for preventative measures if they are up to something on a more grand and insane scale.
Okay.
So, midday break on the road. A few hours out from Waterdeep.
Gra scoots. He barrels over to Krennic. He scoots over. There's a barrel next to Krennic. Hey, Krennic. Krennic.
Hey,
Psst.
hey.
Hey. No, talk into the hole. I hear you. I heard.
You see
I
a
heard-
beak stick through?
Yeah. Just
Flat.
beep beep. Krennic. Shh. I put my finger up to the beak. I heard you have a way of figuring it, like you know about dragons. True.
Yeah, a lot.
Can you sense anything about the dragon eggs that we left behind
Yeah,
many days ago?
there'll be dragons.
They will be dragons. Oh, that's good. That's good. Can you tell me anything about their state right now? Can you feel it in your feathers?
Well,
in your beak?
I know they were dragon eggs, and I know that if we left them in that environment, they were properly cared for,
Uh-huh.
and by now they should
Uh-huh.
be.
Oh, Jesus. Maybe
And then in
about...
my brain,
Yeah. You believe if they were still being cared for with the druid that they had brought on to kind of manipulate
the
and
lightning
control
environment.
and control the weather,
Mhm.
you believe that they probably are not very far off from hatching if they haven't already.
they might actually
Oh.
be hatched by now.
I mean, you've been
That's
on the road
cool.
now for over 2 months.
How big will they be when they
as
hatch?
big as you've seen them.
Like they'll be gigantic?
Oh no, not right away. I mean, it takes time,
Yeah.
but they'll
Damn,
grow to
okay.
be as big as any dragon you've ever seen.
They're pretty much puppies right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Well, I was just thinking maybe if they were actual dragon size, I could just go kill one of them and bring
No.
glory back to
That-
my family, and we
No.
wouldn't have to hunt down the cultists
That
anymore.
doesn't work. See,
Yeah.
no, Gra,
fine
shortcut.
They're
Listen.
pretty much the same, right?
it's no, and you've been drinking clearly, but
I'm trapped in a barrel.
your honor forbids you to kill anything you know you could defeat, and
That's true.
everyone
Oh,
knows
that's a
you
rule.
could
That's a rule.
defeat
Oh,
a
what is
friend.
that rule?
Isn't that rule 1?
I think it was one of the first
No.
rules.
No, rule 1 is a deep valley is full of rocks.
Yeah, something about fair fights and basically what Krennic
Yeah,
was just
well,
saying.
That'll be
Yeah,
rule number
you-
12.
Remember when we were at El Turo and you were gonna enter that, and I wanted you to enter that arm wrestle contest, and you said no, because I know I would win it. It would not be honorable.
That's true.
That's what I mean.
Rule 12, never kill something you know you can kill.
Exactly. So to rule
Ah.
12, we can't kill our friends, and I consider these dragons our friends.
And for you, Krennic, remember rule 6. Remember rule 6, right?
There's too
Never-
many damn rules.
Do I
Never
remember?
waste a good egg.
Oh, I've never wasted a good egg. I've never spilled, not once.
Good, that's good, because that's your unborn.
Who is carrying the bow that you recovered from the forest?
Covered up.
I don't think it's me.
I think we gave that to Orc.
Maybe?
didn't we? Oh no, we gave it to Grimlaw.
Oh, yeah!
we did
We
give him-
superpowered him.
That's right.
That's right, because he's getting more geared up than any of us. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or-
it was a gift from the
The golden
forest
stag.
spirit, the golden stag. He said to come back when we had defeated the dragons or something like that.
Did Order take a
Uh,
look at it?
Did he?
Well, I mean, I assume that he would have. That was
Yeah, yeah.
that episode.
Yeah.
Probably.
Sure. I mean, it is a beautiful bow. You believe that though the properties it possesses are nothing more than a +1 longbow. The craftsmanship of it, it makes it feel like this ancient thing, like that maybe there's more than meets the eye. And jumping forward back to present time, Grimlaw is kind of sitting, almost balancing the weight of the bow across his lap, and near the cook fire, he's almost like studying the smoke as thin tendrils flicker and trail upwards above the flames. And he's just mumbling something before he realizes you're nearby, Oric. And he's saying, "Follow the golden stream to the castle in the sky?" Like almost as if he's still puzzling over, what he had heard. Uh, you all mentioned. I believe you shared the story of the stag, right? When you returned.
Oh, yeah.
Finnick? Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
Yeah.
basically, you could hear him like he's kind of like just mumbling and puzzling over that thing you heard.
Um, and, can I check to see if I remember anything that I should be important to pretty much
Yeah.
anything?
Yes. Well, on the most recent, basically, the way the Harpers operate is, a lot of them are very independent agents in different parts of the Sword Coast. But there is a little bit of a structure there, and all of you who are working with the Harpers are kind of like that lowest rung on the ladder right now, and have been given missions from superiors. For you, Matsu, your last point of contact was Sister Garael, much further north, near Neverwinter, and she had sent you and some others off to also look into the movements of cultists after she had received word from Leo Sin. And you and some of the other Harpers were set off on various missions south of Neverwinter to try to figure out where exactly they were going and what they were up to as well. You are the only person left in the group that headed south towards Waterdeep to try to find this caravan. Beyond that, you were supposed to send word upon reaching Waterdeep whether or not you had been successful and what you thought their next moves were.
Okay. So I need to find someone in Waterdeep.
Yeah, like there would be other Harper agents basically
Okay.
in any city, small or large. The likelihood is incredibly high. You know for a fact that there are several in Waterdeep that you could make
Okay.
contact with.
I just Nine's in the front, and he says, "I still think we should go to the tavern in Waterdeep. Let's go."
I mean, I agree with that. Yes. We need food.
A hand comes out of the barrel, but it's obviously a fake barrel that's just a decoy, and he high fives the cat.
Give it right back to that,
The turtle
Girl.
fully extends his neck, fully,
and then I smack it on the head for a high five.
and then like wiggles back in and says, "Okay."
Oh, wait a second. One more thing before we get too far. God, did we get any more adventures? I cannot remember. Do you need any more tattoos? I can't think straight.
I mean, I could use a tattoo of our new comrade here, and probably us defeating that wagon that we set on fire and getting high for a week off the purple crap I'm trying to brew in my little container here,
Well,
and almost
one at a
killing a
time.
stag.
Which one would you want of those?
Let's get a turtle.
Yes.
Okay,
We're
so
all getting a turtle tattoo.
no, just
No.
Gra.
I've got so much skin, I put tattoos of our
I mean,
conquest
you can
on.
have one if you want of
I
yourself
was
if
gonna
you
say
want
a
one.
turtle tattoo on a turtle. That's like turtleception.
Oi, Rock, you want a dual tattoo so we can
I'll
put
tell
them
you what.
together and then make like a full tattoo?
Hi,
Do you know what a tattoo is?
hi,
All right.
Well, I
Well,
don't
we're
like
gonna
that
have to
idea.
get drunk,
hi.
Yep.
and so is 9.
So as we roll into rolling into Waterdeep, at least this is
Yep.
the last thing I will do on my way to Waterdeep, is I'm going to tattoo. And I know what they're telling me, but Nine's got an idea for what they're saying, and he's gonna kind of just roll with his intuition on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna spread out
Before I
an
say what it
area of
is.
skin. I'm gonna spread out an area of skin, and it's my left hip / butt cheek.
Okay.
That's
Ooh.
where I'm mirroring a tattoo.
Yeah, your right hip /
Right,
butt cheek.
right hip, butt cheek.
Slash
What
shell.
would that just be? Shell?
That'd be
Well,
shell.
He's got a little bit of leg there, right? Like the hip.
That's cool. It'll be like a painted shell.
All right. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Doing
Except-
this.
Except, Gra, aren't you way taller than our turtle friend here?
Oh, so it would be like my
Like
thigh.
your shoulder to his
Oh,
butt.
okay, yeah. My
Perfect.
That's how you
shoulder,
connect.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean, you don't know how these tattoos work out. Oh,
Hey.
wow.
Wow.
So-
Usually that's when Casey rolls the best.
My idea is that on
Or the worst.
Gra,
Or the worst.
because it's a half and half, right? So this is my finger with the ring, and my hand with the ring is Gra. So I
Uh-huh.
have half of the turtle's face on Gra, and on the turtle, I have Gra's face. So it's half and half.
Oh, that's nice.
but it completes.
Whoa.
Nice.
With a nice fade in the middle.
If that's what you'd like, and then I do that.
Oh, I like it. This is great.
Now
You want,
Nice.
you want to
Now I wait
sign your
till I
name
tap.
underneath my half? It's just like the number 9.
Yep, that is my signature, just the number 9.
I like that. Okay. So, first order of business, what are you doing with your wagon when you get to the city?
So I had a
Sell
question about that. Are we just keeping it and going forward in it?
Yeah.
You don't know. All you do know is that what Oric had heard about this being a private operation in closed roads north of the city. You could infer that you probably wouldn't be bringing your wagon with you on such a road.
All right.
It's really sad.
So out of character,
Yeah.
we have a dead person with no head, a ballista, 2,000 gold, and a bunch of fucking beer in our caravan.
I
We
mean,
gotta
we're almost done with the beer.
okay, and we're almost out of it. But we still have a dead dude, 2,000 gold, and a ballista
Yeah.
stored inside our giant beer keg.
Did I have anything on my person as well that I don't know about, like out of character?
Yeah, so if you look at your inventory, you're traveling a bit light there, my turtle friend.
Okay.
But that's your basic kit that you have there, and you've got about 25 gold piece tucked away somewhere.
Oh, sweet.
I don't
Yeah.
usually get sentimental, but I just got this tattoo of this rock here on my butt cheek.
It came out pretty sweet. Oh, a
Maybe-
very nice tattoo we got.
I like, and then I put my butt up to his shoulder.
And I put my shoulder up to his butt.
Yeah, it looks just like us.
Oh man, I'm so jealous.
Perhaps, and I look down at Oric. Perhaps we should outfit our new friend with a little something. Oh, that's a cat.
It's 9. He's LARPing over here.
Oh, nice. Maybe we could craft something for him. Maybe.
Would you have any
It's nice.
sort
Yep,
of
time to go.
waist gear that could cover my loin?
Why would you need to cover your loin?
It's in a shell.
It's a bit
What are you
breezy.
afraid of?
Oh, we look down and it's a shell and his dick's hanging off to the side.
The side?
Like his nutsack.
It's
is, like,
out. Yeah, it's out. Oh, you're naked. Oh no.
That's what I am talking about.
Where'd your pants go?
Do you have any sort of samurai, ninja, gear? Like a fucking skirt.
So,
Just give him some robes. We've got
Just
me a rope.
anything. Just make it go away.
You have what they call in America a dick sock.
So, I wish you had told me this maybe about, I don't know, since we met you. We're at Waterdeep. I can't make anything for you. We're here. Let me see if I've got.
I put my hand up to him. Just
What
say
if
it's
I
your
say,
tail.
Please.
Just say it's your tail.
Okay.
You certainly have all kinds of garments from the cultists, including robes.
I I have some chainmail. I don't know if that would.
No, that won't fit him.
Okay.
Just give him
Portals.
some regular robes.
Yeah, just give him robes.
Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Here's a robe.
Oh, cover that up. Oh God.
So it kind of
So-
look like the Kermit with the with the robe on.
Like
that meme.
Is it like a nut on one side and a nut on the other?
Oh, your dick's out.
Yeah, that's my little turtle dude.
Your nutsack saying.
Just one on each
Drunks,
side.
drunks and dragons, everyone.
Aye.
Alright, so,
Welcome to Waterdeep.
so I'm wearing a robe now, right?
Yeah.
Can I put on the robe?
You can definitely wear a robe. We don't need to spend time on
Roll
it.
for
alright?
it.
Okay,
We can-
okay.
Wait, what color is this robe?
Yeah.
What is this made of?
Okay, we can move on. We can move on.
No. So
I think we should go spend this
Gra,
money.
Gra blabbing on about all the things that are in your cart it makes a very valid point. What are you doing upon getting to the city? Are places both in and outside the city gates where you could basically rent a stall for your wagons. Kind of like a roadhouse is more just like fucking big open parking lots or parking stalls, and a really dinky tavern on the outside here. Nothing, I don't think nothing on the scale that you would be looking for, 9, when you talked about a destination. But you could buy a couple drinks, people who
Okay.
just fresh from the road, that kind of situation.
How long do you think the cultists that we're following are gonna stay in Waterdeep? Should we try to just track with them?
Yeah. Let's just track with them.
Oi. Track with him.
Hi. Man,
Okay.
it's too bad we don't. Nah, never mind.
Remember where the turtle's balls were hanging out?
Most of the other wagons in your group, the ones up at the front there, look like they are filing into some of these parking stalls and breaking off from the road as the caravan starts to slowly disperse up ahead of you.
Do we recognize?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. Anything about like? Because didn't people in our group they were sneaking around? They saw like the caravans for the Red Wizard guy.
Yeah, you definitely, Krennic and 9 would definitely know which that one was.
Upon coming from this point forward, 9 is really going to be really trying to tune into mannerisms. I mean, we've been dealing with these cultists for a while. I know how they have the specific ways that they move their hands, especially when they're saluting and stuff like that. So I'm really trying to pay attention to see if I can pick up on any of that, on anybody, to see who would be the best to, I don't know, blend in with, if that makes sense.
Okay. Are you talking blending in with who you perceive to be cultists, or just other people in the caravan?
Cultists. I'm trying to look for cultists.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick them out
Can I
of the
help?
haystack.
Can I help look for them too?
Yeah, absolutely. You easily recognize the group that was with the, we'll just say, quote-unquote, Red Wizard. And then there's one or two other groups. If you go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
Okay. Where did I put my insight?
Hopefully you can find it.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, roll down.
Is this just Casey rolling?
Roll
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
No, I'm fucking
Oh,
steamrolling, dude.
there we go. There we go.
Steamrolling.
Huge.
Yep.
You
Steamroll.
see two other groups that you think are undeniably 95% likely to be dragon cultists.
Okay.
The rest of the
keep an eye
group we've only been with for about 7 days since Daggerford, so you don't have a huge handle on who's fucking who here, but there were two that you recognized from your previous caravan as well.
Okay. I mentioned it to Krennic, but I'm definitely not trying to hide the information. It's just that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if the rest of my, I'm not hiding it from the rest of my party, just not outside of the party.
Okay. So, you are probably a minute or two out before, like the complete head of the caravan has finished dispersing, leaving you as the new head. Um, I'd say about 75% of the wagons are pulling in and parking in various stalls on the other side of the road outside the gates. A couple have gone on through the main gates into the city.
I
What
know.
what are you
Let's
doing?
park it on the other side of the city. That way we know when they're leaving.
I mean, that is a good idea.
Do we know if Waterdeep is the same kind of city as Baldur's Gate?
Oh, it's definitely not.
It's definitely not. But
Oh, wow, that's right.
the carts going through the front gate, the ones that are moving on, appear to be pulling into almost like on the outer city. Like there's spots where they are going within that area. You don't get the impression that wagon traffic is welcome through the main parts of the city here either.
Yeah,
We have lots of gold. We could bribe them.
I say let's just hunker down for the night over here, or we can ask like a city guard maybe if there's a place on the northern side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we do that.
Yeah, I mean the simple answer you get back from the guard is that wagons can be escorted around the outskirts of the city if you plan on continuing on the road north. But you would basically have to, not unlike what you did in Baldur's Gate, although that was a bit more of a rough terrain. There are paths that go outside the city walls and wind around to the long road that goes northeast towards
Are
Red
there
Larch.
any of the wagons in our caravan already
Doing
doing
that?
that?
No.
Okay. Go back to the group. I think they're probably here. If we're looking for information, we should stay close, so perhaps we can overhear a conversation or something, yeah?
I think I could help with that. I look down at Orc, and then I wink at Krennic, and I pull out a some charcoal, and I light on fire, and I throw down a greenish hen, and I wink at him like perhaps we could lure some people in with a scent
you-
of.
Are you lighting a fire inside of our caravan?
No, it's on top of the caravan, you dummy.
There's a big pan up there.
Yeah, and I'm making greenish chicken up top. It smells like mahogany wood,
Ooh,
and then
how good
So
do
weird
you're,
chicken.
you're like the wild guy, like cooking out on top of your van at the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
music
Walmart?
festival.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to
Yeah.
find anyone who's
Right.
friendly.
I tell Orc when he's talking about like listening in on people's conversation. In case he didn't hear me tell Krennic, I mentioned to him about the couple parties to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Does my chicken lure anybody? With the scent.
We park before we get into that.
Yeah.
Park
Yeah.
the caravan
Yeah.
at a healthy, or our wagon at a kind of close, not obviously not like right next door to them.
Okay.
Maybe a couple spots down from where they're at, or maybe across a little bit so we can actually see them. So
Okay.
something.
All right, and then you break out the barbecue, Gra.
Is Krennic with me? Krennic, are
Yeah.
you with me?
I'm helping.
Are you flap your? Hey, Krennic,
What?
flap your wings so the scent goes everywhere.
Oh.
Hey,
Yeah.
make sure, please, or it calls
Yeah.
like through the little opening. Make sure the disguise is on, you dumbasses. Yeah.
A big fat weed salesman puts his head over the top of the cart. He's like, I got it covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there people? I mean, are there from those particular caravan or wagons? Are they going into the city? Are they staying around?
a lot of wagons appear to be leaving someone with the wagon, and
Okay.
then many of their parties are going over to this kind of roadhouse basically out here, and then a lot of the other ones are going just inside the city wall and heading into the city.
Nine orc turtle. All you guys. Hey, the head comes over the top of the cart like the big fat guy, and like a beard drapes down over the cart. It's like, maybe if we distract them with this beautiful scent of food, you guys could go cart to cart and see what you see.
I'm not great at being sneaky.
We want to help us with the food.
I might be, right? Am I sneaky at all?
You are fairly sneaky. Yeah.
I have a lot of dexterity, right?
Yeah. You.
That makes me sneaky.
I was gonna
Helps.
suggest maybe we just go inside the roadhouse there and get some food and drink.
I'm gonna
9.
play off of that. Oh, okay.
And you, I mean, you can come too. Yeah,
Oh,
if they're
maybe.
cooking
I'm pretty sneaky. Do you want a sneaky dude? A sneaky turtle?
inside the tavern.
Hey.
I mean, maybe you could. Oh, I don't want to leave you alone.
Is Grosh still
Yeah.
looking at-
His
looking ahead?
his overall charisma has left you a little
Baffled.
concerned. Yeah.
He's like, uh-oh.
It's like, oh, I don't want to be with you, but I don't want to leave you unattended. There's a lot of that going on, especially when the blades came out, almost came out several times back in Daggerford.
Instantly.
Yeah.
You're still like having flashes, like you're just getting like quick flashes of like just a circle of bloodied corpses of just general townsfolk around a turtle who's like gone mad in the center of the road. You're still not quite sure about Matsumoto, the Oathbreaker.
Hey, oi.
Are you coming in or are you coming in or are you staying out here and cooking?
Hey, look. And then I throw him a greenish chicken, and I
Do
take
you want
like
something?
I take a handful of the hot greenish chicken. They smell great. I take them with me, and I say, I'm going with you. And the
Yeah, me
fat
too.
man with the greenish chicken follows the cat.
Uh,
And-
Oric, I'll let you figure out what to do. Is Turtle over there.
Ah, great. Okay. Well, hey, bring me back some beer. I was gonna go. Ah, fucking alright.
Okay. I don't worry, Oric. I will get you. It's the best, the finest of some beer.
Okay. So you all heading into the roadhouse. You said the roadhouse, right?
Roadhouse.
Not
Roadhouse.
into the main city proper.
Mhm.
Okay. So you head in there. A lot of people from the caravan are there, having conversations, having a drink. Not a lot of food, but there are some like sort of dried nuts and like other snacks that people are kind of getting bowls of. What are you doing?
I just stand stretching.
All I heard was dried nuts, and I thought about fucking the turtle balls hanging out.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Thanks.
Not a lot of food. Not a lot of food. Grod looks around. He sees there's no food, and he walks over to the nearest table, big old table, and he drops all of the greenest chicken on top of it, and it smells great, and there's still like oils coming out of it.
Oh yeah, sell it all,
Mm.
bro.
It's like, hey, who wants some of my special greenest chicken?
One guy who's got 6 fucking steins, frothy mugs of beer lined up in front of him perfectly. Like you can see he was like just getting ready to like kind of looks over his shoulder, says, "Oh, I spent all my money, but I'll trade you some beers."
Who's with me? Cat and Krennic?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take 3 of those, and I'll give you 3 greenest chickens. You
3?
won't regret it.
What?
3.
You're giving him away 3?
Well, I got a shitload. It's like, you won't regret these things. They're way better than beer,
Oh,
if you know what
3
I mean.
Too many.
He
And I'm
he
trying to
lights up
sweeten the deal.
and like starts like waddling over with beers and like puts 3 in the house, says, 3 for 3.
No, don't give him 3. They're worth way
I look
more
at
than
Krennic
that.
and I say, don't worry. From now on, just let let me do the talking. You're not so very good at this bartering thing. You're more better at the smashing thing.
Oh.
Grod takes a drink of his beer and he holds up like his apron that he's got and there's greenish chicken on it and he takes
Yeah.
a drink of his beer.
This guy leaves the 3 chickens on the table, picks one up, and just like rips into the flesh of it, and kind of like, fucking starving. Name's Ro.
Oh, hello, Ro. Look, I'm not gonna lie. You probably just had way too much greenish chicken. But, I'm pleased to meet you. Where are you from? You've been with this caravan that came in.
I worked the stretch all the way up past fucking Baldur's Gate into Daggerford, and here we are.
Oi, do you remember there was like a 10-day period where I can't remember nothing?
You mean the mushrooms?
Oh, shh.
Shoot.
Hey, what happened? Do you remember anything? What happened then? I just kind of like passed out and I woke back up again.
When we got stopped on the road with that purple shit.
Yeah, the purple shit.
Purple shit, yes.
Yeah, I was knocked out too.
Were you
It's not a
missing
good day.
anything when you woke back up? Was anything strange?
Missing anything?
Yeah.
I don't follow friend, but I don't think so. If I catch
And then
you
I
meaning.
also I sit next to that guy and I say, I don't follow Izagra.
Look, when
You all hired guards as well. You've got a certain look about you. I can tell
No.
when someone's seen combat.
I don't think so. I think you're mistaken. I'm a beer salesman
Oh,
and also a connoisseur of chicken. If
He's
you
a
could
great
not tell.
chef.
Yeah.
is chicken's quite?
Quite
Tom Haverford.
It's a
quite
little
Tom
dry, but
little dry.
you know, after a long day on the road, goes fine with the beer.
Gra pulls
You-
out
you
an
don't
orange.
make an insight check for me, Gra.
I will do that. Oh god damn it.
Is insight like to see what they're saying is true?
Exactly. Yeah. Gra, you're reading this man's face as he's eating your lovely chicken, and you can tell he's only being polite at this point and is really questioning the bargain he just got.
Oh shit.
You look disappointed in the chicken. Can you tell me, please? Feedback. What went wrong? What's wrong with it? I aim to please. I just want to please you.
Easy, Gra. We don't want to get into any dangerous situations pleasing people now.
I wink at him.
He's kind of like almost sizing you up a little bit. He says, well, it's if I'm being honest, quite a bit dry and very bland. It's very leathery.
Can I take that from you for a sec? Can I take a look here? I extend my hand.
Yeah, he hands you rips you a chunk of chicken and drops it in your hand.
Is it really dry?
It's not very good.
It's not very. I dip it in my beer and I give it back to him. It's 'cause you were eating it wrong. Here you go.
Beer dip chicken.
Yeah.
greenest finest?
It activates the greenest.
He seems to be taking much more delight as he dips every bite.
Dude, you just made fun dip for him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Gotta dip it in the
man.
beer.
And
He's going, yeah. So you all taking the trip back? Or you staying in Waterdeep? What are you doing?
I look to Kat and Krennic.
we are looking for our next adventure. Hopefully,
We're at
maybe to
Waterdeep.
head north.
Yeah, you're
Have
in
you
you're,
heard?
you're in the
We're
south
in-
side of Waterdeep. Just
Can I
in, like,
look
the
for an
outer city.
agent? An agent of of what's my clan?
The Harpers.
Harper's.
The Harpers. Can I look for an agent of the Harpers?
You could, yeah. Make a.
Make a Harper's check.
From the caravan?
Is that where I am right now?
Yeah,
Well,
you're
you're
on the
with them.
caravan. You're on the.
But
Unless-
I thought we were
unless
in
you went with
Waterdeep.
them.
We are in Waterdeep.
Oh.
Yeah,
But you're
yeah,
with
yeah.
the wagon still.
Unless
make,
you went with 9 and Krennic and those guys.
Matsu, you can make an insight check and basically determine if you can recall where some of the meeting spots were.
Okay.
Oh, that's useful.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
dude. I think I'm throwing my dice
The
back.
Okay.
PTSD from that incident, like you were dehydrated and almost starved to death over 2 days, and like your brain has just not felt right.
Fair enough.
Gotta throw down shot.
You feel like you're recovering, but you're definitely not. You're not your full self. You know?
I feel very strange.
Perhaps I must lay down.
I have two things
Okay.
I'd like to do here. The first one is I'd like to keep the conversation with this gentleman, and ask him tell him to answer his question. We are looking to head north for our next adventure. Do you know much of this town? How familiar are you?
Hmm. I know enough about Waterdeep. Head north. Yeah, I mean you could head north. Some caravans will be going down the long road and further north, probably by way of Red Larch and sometimes they'd probably swing over to Yartar beyond that. Most of the major shipments beyond Waterdeep would require work on a vessel of the sea.
Hmm. Yes. Are you a seaman yourself, sir?
I am not. I am definitely a highwayman.
And we are new here, so is there anything we should beware of? Be wary of?
Uh, can't say I've ventured too deep within the city
Waterdeep?
itself, but it's, let's say, a very organized city with plenty of guards. So depending on what you get
You
into.
feel safe.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And then the second thing I really want to do, now we'll do small talk with that guy unless somebody else has something to say. But I want to flag down the nearest waitress
Oh.
or bar's maid, and I want to ask for how many do we have with us right now? We have 3 inside and 2 outside.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
Oric and
3 and 3.
Matsu are back at the caravan, right?
I know we just got those beers,
So
so
Grimlaw.
I'm
And
going to.
Grimlaw,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
and Grimlaw. I'm
You
going
said
to
people.
send 3 of the finest, biggest beers out there, and I know they probably don't deliver them outside, but I'm going to tip her an entire gold. I will give you an entire gold if actually I don't say that. I ask her first and see what her response is.
Okay.
To bring the 3 of her top shelf beers out to my friends and by the caravan.
Uh, you're offering up payment? Or like,
I just offering for the normal beer price at this moment.
oh, okay. Uh, she doesn't really get into specifics. She says we could bring a few beers over if you're paying.
I put my fingers up to my mouth, scratch my face, letting all the rings just bling in her face.
Ooh.
Oh, we have payments, my dear, and I'm really just laying it on thick, you know.
She says I would love to bring your friends some drinks.
Okay. And currently out of character, Casey does not know the value of a gold in this world.
Well, I mean, you have like 29 rings left.
I know,
Yeah,
but
you can just give her a ring.
no, dude, that's dangerous. When I'm playing it on thick like this, it could be dangerous just giving
Cat.
bitches rings.
Got maybe some of this chicken.
No, I'm just curious. So like a gold in like US dollar, USD, what would it be?
1 crypto.
Like how much is actually? Here's a better one. How much is a tankard of ale?
Hold on. I mean,
like
it's like
two
copper,
copper?
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Perfect.
it's so abstracted that like a gold is pretty valuable as far as like food and drink go.
Like
Okay.
$100.
Yeah.
Is it
If she
gold? Or-
doesn't put up and she was pretty willing to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, then
You're saying she was into it.
I give her the whole gold, and I say, thank you for your help, miss. keeps the change, and maybe keeps them
She-
flowing.
She lights up and absolutely like goes and as she starts to walk away kind of excitedly, she says,
Cool.
"Where am I bringing these?"
And I describe the caravan to her, and when I hand her the money, my soft cat fur really brushes up against her skin nicely.
Oh damn!
Again, laying it on thick. And I described to her the caravan with a big beer silo on it.
Okay.
It probably smells like beer, and there's a turtle outside with a a bearded half man, probably doing something with metal.
Okay.
For copper.
4 coppers, is that what it was?
For a mug of beer.
Oh Jesus!
Perfect.
Okay.
thank you, sir.
She goes
No,
and
a
rounds
gold is
up.
like $500. Jesus.
She goes and rounds up a tray of beverages, and you can see her heading out towards your caravan, your wagon. Sorry.
Yep.
Rob would like to. He wants to do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to stand up. He wants to stand up on top of a table. Like he hears it creak.
Who else is inside? Is that Matsu?
Krennic.
Krennic?
I'm with Orc, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Krennic and
And
9 are with
Nine.
me.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
And I say, I make a spectacle of myself. I make everyone aware in the tavern. Everyone, hey, who'd like some free greenish chicken? Valued very highly in the south. You haven't had nothing if you haven't had greenish chicken yet.
And I strum along with it, a little late, obviously, but
Yeah.
to
I do a
really
little-
perk it up with them.
I do a little dance with the song, and I'm like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then
Can
like,
I hear this?
No. No, you'd be a little ways away from this.
special greenish chicken, if you know what I mean, from the south. You gotta have some of this free. I'm just handing it out so that you guys know what I'm capable of and what I like to make.
He's
There
trying
you
to
go.
prove his worth now.
Yeah, hey, you want one over there? And he winks, and there's like a guy in the
free.
there's a guy in the back, and he's like, yeah, I want one. And I throw like a leg at him, like.
All right.
his teeth.
With advantage, thanks to 9 laying down some strums, I need you, Gra, to make a performance check.
Oh please, baby, don't fail me. God damn it!
Oh.
So you go to throw that chicken, and it just smacks into the face of somebody at the bar. Oh, that was with advantage. You're right.
Oh,
All right.
okay. Oh my
Double
god,
ones, don't
please
double
don't
ones.
fucking fail me again.
Oh!
And he bites it, and he bites the chicken, and it's
He
delicious.
fucking just turns and catches the chicken with his open mouth and bites down. And he's like this. He's this guy who was already like clearly a fairly popular guy at the edge of the bar, and just kind of holds up. It is good chicken. And everyone's like just clamoring towards you, trying to get some of this free greenish chicken.
I start to hand the chicken out to everyone. I'm like, this is called greenish chicken. It's got a special ingredient. I'm pretty sure most of you guys will know what it is. If you want a little bit more, you know where to find me. Here you go. Here you go. Have another one. Yes.
What a turn of events.
What the fuck is that, by the way? 1 and 20?
It's
Thank
a
your
couple
bard.
of-
Tip your
it's
bard.
happened before. Yeah.
Thank you, Casey.
Amazing.
Okay, what are you
God.
hoping to glean from this newly acquired friendly mirth being thrown your way?
I'm performing, and if I do a performance in town, I get free food and free board, and everyone knows me.
Okay,
Mhm.
well you've
He's a
definitely
performer.
stuck the landing on that one
Yeah.
with the bard at your back. So this is going on for some time. What are the rest of you back in the wagon doing with yourselves up until now?
The beer's showing up too. Perfect
The
transition.
beer
Oh,
has
yeah.
shown up. You heard courtesy of your friend, and you can see that the number of patrons at this outskirts roadhouse has grown to be fairly large, as most of the other wagons have sort of hunkered down and been secured at this point in all the various stalls.
Well,
I mean, Oryx is a little disappointed he didn't go in the tavern, but he takes the beer and starts, he drinks the one from the tavern and then goes in the back and starts drinking some more.
Uh,
Nice.
He's been working hard. And
Mhm.
then, um,
Grimlaw enters after you do so, holding his large mug as well.
yeah,
He
I think
says,
we've earned it.
Oric, have you had a little time to think on the phrase of the Golden Stag?
I've been thinking about it for a while now. I'm not sure what the castle in the sky means, but I believe we're to follow the path north. Perhaps there's some kind of marking on the path itself that will indicate which direction we should go. I keep thinking that perhaps the high road, the high road, it just keeps ringing the bell to me. I don't know.
Uh, the words high road trigger something in my body, and I drink the beer that was served to me too. So I'm feeling pretty buzzed, and hoping it brings my recollection back.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, okay. What are you trying to recall specifically?
What about the high road
What about the high
is
road
so important?
resonates with you? Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Okay.
Oh, please be sub 5.
Yeah, let's see what we got
Let's
here.
get another natural one in there, yeah.
Can I double click it or something? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, you can do it.
Oh, 5.
Low every time.
You don't recall some of like the finer points of the brief. You had a tendency to kind of like doze off into your shell during some of these like mission briefings from time to time, which is why you always worked with a smaller team of partners. Unfortunately, you have lost them on the road to some of your previous encounters, and now you're left here on your own trying to remember, and it's good enough. But you do know that when Sister Grail had been going over the finer points of some of the intel that the Harpers in this region had acquired, it was that their agents believed that the crew working for this third-party company that was on this road project in the efforts to rebuild the road from Waterdeep to Neverwinter. What the crew for this was abnormally large as far as government-funded projects go, and some of the Harper agents believed from the intel they had received about some of the people joining this company as hired hands were potentially cultists, and that Sister Grail had reason enough to believe that they might be smuggling whatever contraband they were trafficking on this overall journey through some of the construction caravans or wagons going on this project.
Oh.
Oric, does this information help you figure out what you need to know about the high road and what lies ahead?
Well, Grimlaw, do you think that the Golden Stream is referring to a road?
He's ponderous for a moment. Says, when we looked at the map, Oric, I had the sense that we were floating within the Golden Stream.
Okay, yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you think about it, the castle in the sky would have to mean the mountains, yeah?
Oh, that's smart.
It's
I
not a bad thought, but
suppose-
I sense that we are on and within the Golden Stream, and maybe the castle lies at the end of it.
Oh, so do you already have a direction that you think the stream is pulling you, or are we gonna have to perceive this as we go?
Oric, he just clasps his hands onto your shoulder. Um, Oric, the
I would love
Warwick.
to help you right now. What is it?
yes.
Look me right in the eyes. I'm very. Is it my face, dog?
Oric, it's my
Damn it,
head
I
feels
hate-
so strange right now. Like it's almost as if
No, no,
it's just
no,
almost as
you
if my
didn't.
thoughts get fuzzy at times, and the clarity that just feels like the way my brain should be just
Oh no!
disappears. It's just
Oh.
like I've got such a headache. I don't know if it's the beer.
No, it's the beer. I'm pretty sure. You know how.
It was like I
Grog is.
had an answer to your very question at the tip of my tongue, and then just like that, my mind blanked on me.
Yeah, I feel like at least the Golden Road will be the high road, but I could be wrong. But I'm sure we can feel our way. Are
Maybe,
you feeling
maybe,
this way because of that bow?
maybe, Oric, you can do the thinking for us right now. And he reaches out and touches your head. What do you think the golden stream is?
I told you I think it's a road. And Grimlaw, are you okay? Wait,
No,
hey,
I feel
why
very
don't
strange.
why don't you go lay down for a little bit, yeah? Why don't you here go to your hammock right up here, yeah?
Oric, I feel so.
What?
Grimla? Grimla?
What is this day? What the fuck is it?
Hi, buddy.
He looks like a deer in headlights for a moment, and his intelligence seems to not be with him at all at this moment.
Did he just like? Does his crown fall off? What happened?
It's still on his head.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay.
in Oric just guides him. He's like,
What the
I'm sure it's.
Uh-oh.
You don't remember, but you had too much of gross drink, and now you're gonna have to go to bed, okay?
Turns him
He
back to
kind of like curls up like a little kid fetal position in the hammock.
Oh boy,
Okay.
Grandma.
He's never allowed to have grog anymore.
It wasn't
Poor
even mine,
Oric.
it was from the tavern.
Oric's babysitting Grandma back there.
Okay, Oric's had his hands full with this, I would say, pretty much the whole time. But
Yeah.
once Grimlaw's asleep, he would probably look out to see if any of the cultists are doing things. But we'll come back to that.
Yeah, Matsu,
Keep an
you
eye
you notice the kobold, who is a strange companion for any fairly good or socially acceptable group of people or creatures. It kind of just went from superbly intelligent to almost monstrous in dialogue and in intelligence. We'll jump back to the tavern or the roadhouse for now.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, Roadhouse.
You definitely have like the crowd is on your side, so to speak, within the tavern here. Most people are fairly enamored with you after your little performance slash chicken cookout,
Yeah.
fucking meal share.
Mhm.
I imagine it sounded like a twang, like an almost Australian vibe to him. And he's like tapping his foot on the table.
Just throwing chicken in
Well,
people's
you
mouths.
get a chicken
Didgeridoo.
in, get a chicken in.
All right, so once people are kind of like inebriated, I look down to Krennic and Nine. I'm just like, maybe we should milk them for information
We
now.
could find something here.
Yeah.
I look
Are
around
there
for
any
people.
cultists in here?
Yeah, I look around for robes.
You know what I say out loud? Oh, here, I got it. I
Okay.
got an idea, guys. And I use, I have to read my skill real quick. Where is it? Minor illusion. Can I do that? Can that be audible?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can
yeah,
make it a
yeah.
big voice, like a big booming
Yep.
voice or a
I,
whisper.
I boom from the, because for instance, let me give a little background to this. If you're in a room with any Australians and you yell Aussie, 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 they will say oi, 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 so you can point out who the Australians are. Now that these guys are all
Cultist.
no, all hail. I'm going to say in the corner, all hail, and just start the sentence and see who says the
Oh,
Age of Dragons.
I hope you roll good on this, man.
Wait, you're rolling up to where and doing that?
Well, we're in the bar, but
Yeah.
I use
I'll
a
hoist
minor
you on my
illusion.
shoulder.
Well, I use a minor illusion in a corner different than where I am,
Oh, okay.
and it says
Oh, you're conjuring an illusion of you know, like throwing your
audible.
voice essentially of this coming from somewhere else.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
And it
Of
says,
a cultist.
"All hail," and it sounds deep and guttural. It's more like the cultist would do.
I want to see if anyone flinches.
Oh my Jesus!
At,
Oh, wait,
that,
can I-
at that moment, I drunkenly stumble through the door of the roadhouse
You're.
and like fall through the door.
Oh shit.
Did I see him leave the van?
You were on lookout.
You were like totally wrapped up with cradling the strange Grimlaw.
Shit, Grim.
And by the time you looked back up, you realized the turtle
turtled off.
was not there.
Well, good riddance. I don't know.
Oh my God.
The turtle comes stumbling through the doors like fucking Western saloon style.
He's had half a beer.
You throw your voice 9. I'm gonna, since you are wrapping this up in an overall thing, I'd like you to use your performance check as well.
Okay,
Please,
and I mean,
Casey.
I set it up beautifully. By
Oh,
the
you
way.
you did. So let's just say the difficulty rating I'm checking against isn't as
Okay.
high as it might have been.
Oh, come on.
Since you.
Okay.
Okay. And where exactly were you trying to throw this?
At a table maybe that's a little more crowded, an area that's more crowded where it'd be a little harder to distinguish where it came from. And
Okay.
again, the idea is that they're inebriated. Some of them are intoxicated, and
Yeah.
they will just go with the flow or go with habit.
Okay. You do so. Like, people at that table kind of like look up and around, and I'd say about overall percentage of people around this 3/4 of the bar, like to the side of that corner. Probably about 60% of them turned and looked.
Oh my God.
You you sense that like most of them were responding with a sense of recognition more than just like responding to hearing a sound.
We're in the lion's den, guys.
We've made it, boys. I say that to Krennic. We've made it, Krennic. And then I
Wow.
look at the turtle who flops in the door. Oh, fuck.
60%. How many people are in the bar?
Can I
As the turtle walks into the bar, a large guy kind of turns and looks, and we're very much in like a saloon western moment with a very low camera angle, looking through the guy's legs at you, the turtle. And a guy just like with chicken in one hand, mugging the other, is like clearly drunk, like just fucking. So this is like a big dude. It's just like, didn't we put you? He like points the chicken towards you in the ground.
No.
And then I message the guy. I message the guy as fast as I can, and say.
He's like
Oh,
kind of
oh.
laughing, like you fucking twerp.
That was an armadillo. In his own voice. That was an armadillo.
Deception me.
Oh my God, Casey, everything's riding on you, man. Okay.
The guy like kind of stands and looks and like turns and says, "Wait, was that a armored turtle? Armored? How do you say that?" He's kind of like looking at his friend. Armadillo? Maybe that was it. And he just kind of turns back towards the bar and like splashes some of his drink down on the counter before sitting back at the stool. Kind of occasionally like sideways glancing over his shoulder towards the entryway. But he appears to be less interested at the moment.
Can I recognize this guy?
Oh yeah, he
Oh.
definitely put you in the ground along with a handful of others.
Yeah, so
What's it called? Is
can I,
it
like-
weekend at Barney's?
what am I trying to say?
Flop him around.
Never mind.
All right. Well, Grod's looking around. So we saw 60% of the people kind of like flinch when the all hail came out.
Yeah.
He looks down at his two compatriots. He's like, "Guys, I don't know if this is the best idea. I think we found him."
Gra, could you please go pick up the turtle and just, I don't know, remember that time when I played with those people's legs and made them look like sock puppets?
I know
We
the
kind of
exact
need
one.
something. We need
I know the
something
exact-
like that, but with the turtle.
I go. Gra runs over to the turtle and he says, he's like, "Rock, hey Rock, come here." And he
Hi.
slings the turtle over his back and he wraps his arms around his neck like a scarf.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm
And-
wearing
and
you.
My legs around your waist.
Yep, I'm wearing you like a turtle shell.
Okay.
Turtle armor. I told you it was gonna happen.
And what are you doing with him when you go and pick him up?
I-
Carrying me.
Yeah, I'm carrying. It's like a fat man carrying a turtle on his back.
Deeper,
Like extra strong in the
like
back.
deeper into
Wearing
the
him like a
tavern,
backpack.
where the rest of you are, or like are you leaving with him? What are you doing?
I'm gonna look at Cat and Bird and I'm gonna escort the turtle out of the building.
Yeah, I'll walk out with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
9, you are still in the tavern, occasionally strumming.
Yeah. I'm not ready to leave yet. I
Okay.
think there's something information
do
we
it,
really get
do
here.
it.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
listening.
Everyone's drunk.
There's a lot of interesting groups in the building, including those who you saw respond to the illusion you conjured. What are you looking for? What do you want? What do you want here?
I didn't know if I could hear a little bit of more of the 60%, if they're clumped in. I'm curious if their conversation of if they're talking about what they're going to be doing next, what their plan is. If they try to get information on what the plan is for them.
I'm imagining like you're kind of like you got your little lute, your little instrument. You're kind of like going near one table, like strutting, like kind of like moving through the space a bit, kind of posturing a little bit.
Yeah, with Alright. And I'm playing. Yeah, that's the best one because this one's not the one I wanted.
You're selecting songs.
I am. Actually,
Nice.
this.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay.
Oh no. I gotta click this.
You don't have to. I got you.
Oh, okay. Oh, dueling banjos! Fantastic.
And you can kind of go to about 30 seconds in.
Yeah. That's it. We'll get there.
Perfect. Yeah.
Um,
And I'm just leaning into the conversations as I play.
perfect. Okay. Well,
Yes.
the closest table. You kind of lean in as you pluck a few strings. Go ahead and let's see. How do I want to rule this?
They are
Performance and-
inbred. Roll an inbreed
Let's-
check.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm happy to rock that on performance as far as like your proximity to just straight up listen to the conversations while playing.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
Moderately to pretty good.
First solid.
First table, you are like a fly on the wall. You are just background noise. And a couple people here definitely were like honing in on like the New Age of Dragon salute that you threw out there. They're talking about initially rumors that they had heard before arriving here. That some of the villagers were talking about spotting, or some of the city folk were talking about spotting a half dragon about a 10-day ago passing through these parts.
Oh, that's so long ago.
They're audibly like wanting like something like, do you think it was Resmir? Resmir?
That's the one.
I don't know the other half dragons.
Okay. Good.
You fishing this well for a while, or are you moving on?
I want to do one more. I feel like I'm kind of starting to overstay my welcome a little bit, but
Okay.
I'm starting to stand out a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I'm thirsty for a little bit more.
Yeah, you almost just start getting into your strumming a little too much, and it's getting a little crazy, and you're getting lost in the music. Go ahead and roll another performance check for me.
Okay.
Whew.
Dude, 9, 9,
You're like, you know what?
team.
Fuck it. Like you are going off, and it's like only obscuring your presence even more. And you can hear them talking about joining up with the High Road Charter Company, and
Oh.
that all you need to do is to speak to Ardred. Let him know that you're one of us, and there will be a guaranteed spot as a road worker in the private caravan heading to the roadhouse.
So Ardred?
Yep.
Glad I didn't put the CH in front of that. Ardred.
And let him know. Sorry, my shit was all fucked up. Let him know.
We're going to the roadhouse.
Let him know that you're one of us.
Ardred. Alright.
You're inferring that this Ardred fella must have some position of power within the High Road Charter Company.
Okay.
I like that name so much.
Which one?
The High Road
Ardred?
Charter
Oh
Company.
yeah, that's nice.
Like the East India Trading Company.
Cool. Okay. I don't want to overstay, so I'm going to. What do you guys think? Outside character. I think it's time for me to return.
Okay.
Everyone's
information?
outside except for you.
I know. That's why it's outside character. Okay. So I'm gonna head out, but as I do, I'm going to find the barmaid that helped us out, and I'm going to slip her one more silver and say, "My petite fleur, thank you so much for your
Oh!
for your service tonight." And then I wink at her and I walk out.
She winks back and kind of like flips her skirt up, like as one does, like
Showed her vagina to
letting
you.
that turn around, like really just like.
Oh my god.
Oh my! She showed her butt and vagina.
9
Showed
thinks
her
it's
pussy to the
mating
pussy.
season.
A pussy
And
for a pussy.
rejoins the group and informs them what he's heard about the
Okay.
Road Charter Company.
All right.
Alright,
Oh, sounds like we'd take the high road then.
Well,
I think we need to become part of them. High Road Charter Company.
yeah.
We need to
Gri-
find Ardred.
Grimlaw groggily kind of sits up like, boy, I had quite the headache.
What happened?
Oh, you feeling better?
I think it was the chicken or the beer, but I'm
Whoa.
feeling
What? Hey,
I'm feeling okay now.
critic! This
Here,
asshole says our chicken's bad.
No.
take some water. It'll help.
Oh,
We just came from a whole tavern who loved our chicken.
Grimlaw,
maybe you got a bad batch.
what do you think about the High Road Charter Company?
You're asking
Thinking of
Grimlaw?
joining it? Yeah. Now that he's like awake, and anybody else, just kind of.
You know, out of character, Grimlight is a kobold who was with the cultists in the first place. He probably has a shitload of unlocked memories that we don't know about.
If you remember correctly, he doesn't remember anything before. his
Maybe
time.
if we prod him enough.
Perhaps I know something about the High Road, Grimlock, fuck.
Yo, you do not.
You win. He says, Oric, I was trying to recall. It was right on the tip of my tongue earlier, but what I was trying to say was, the loot train is the river.
Oh.
River?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Ah,
there's a
I can
river that
see
At
runs
least that's
along.
my
The
guess.
river is so far away. You're talking about the Desiren River?
You know,
That's not very far.
actually,
It's
guys,
far from
No.
the high road. It's the exact opposite of the high road.
No, we've been following the river
No, it's
this
the log-
entire time.
It's a long road.
Oh, you mean the river, like the actual river.
So one was the water in it?
No, I'm sorry. You said the loot. You know what's interesting?
Grimlock sighs at his profound intellect and your lack thereof.
Oh,
I don't
he's looking
understand.
down
Feel
on
so
us.
alone.
No,
What
I
river is you
understand.
referring to?
I understand what he's
It's
talking about.
it's not a
What?
real physical river.
God, we're dumb.
I still feel dumb. I don't know. Please
Yeah, I do
explain it.
too.
You
He
don't.
he holds up the map and traces his finger like he's following a river, except it's the path your caravan's been snaking along the whole time.
We are the river?
And the things
Oh,
you've
we've
been
been on the
following
golden, yeah,
are
the golden path.
wagons and wagons of gold.
We're smuggling loot,
Right,
and
right.
we're the Golden River.
Yeah.
We're flowing. The gold
Wait.
is flowing.
Hey, Grimlaw!
Yeah.
Look, Grimlaw.
But that's just my theory, and he folds the map back up and tucks it.
Yeah,
into
but
one
we
of
still
the
have to
books.
go up the high road, right?
Where does the river end, Grimlaw?
I don't know. At a castle in the sky,
Jesus.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
according to Krennic.
How do you know where this castle is or how to get to it?
We've already had this discussion. No. Um. We don't. But I think that we have a couple of goals now, right? We need to find this Ardrid.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need to find the Ardrid, and we need to find out if caravans are also like going, because if they have loot, right? Well, we've got some loot. I'm not saying we give it all to them, but perhaps the pieces with the signatures on it.
Wait, we could blend in with the cultists
Exactly,
now. Yeah, because we
exactly,
have the
because we
loot
have
of the
that.
cultists.
And we have a kobold, right?
Yeah. Oh my, Fiddy's like, you figured it out, finally!
I still don't get it. Could you say it again?
This is a perfect disguise.
We're the same as
We
one
are
of the
the
cultist
We
caravans.
are a loot train with also
Yeah.
gold. We just can't sell the gold.
Oh,
yet.
here it is! I believe, Fiddy! I believe!
Peter. You're playing
Yeah!
with us, Peter.
I believe! God damn it, we're stupid! You're doing it, Peter! Fuck, we're so dumb!
Well, just continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do the
We're
thing.
perfectly disguised and we didn't even know it!
I mean, I don't see how that's possible since we've been found out at least twice.
And someone ran away knowing exactly which cards we are.
I am really confused.
No, but we
I'm
changed.
sorry.
Didn't we change the look of the card inside Daggerford? They wouldn't know it's us.
We could just give it a paint job, but we've got everything we need to be a cultist,
I guess.
including hats of disguise,
I mean,
money, and
Fine.
kobolds.
Hey, to be clear, we didn't just change the color. We like did a huge ton of
Yeah, yeah,
stuff
yeah.
when you guys were drunk in the bar.
But we ran into
And
the turtle after Daggerford, didn't we?
Was
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
the bar after?
in which
I can't
someone
remember which came
recognized us
first.
and then got away.
So they know that
Yeah.
too, huh?
Who did he
a
see?
check to see which came first, the turtle or the dagger? Or do I just remember that one?
No, you ran to the Tortle when you were just on the outskirts before
So-
getting to Daggerford.
Okay.
Why don't you sell some of the silver that's in the bag of holding, yeah? And get actual money for it? And then,
Isn't that money though?
Yeah, we did.
I mean, aren't there like giant pieces of. You're gonna hand somebody like a fucking tea kettle and be like, here you go. I wanna see
Maybe.
your-
It is
No.
quite a hodgepodge of things, along with some gold. Like
We want to
actual
turn it
gold
into
coins.
coins, pretty much.
I mean,
right?
All
I
I was
remember
gonna
last
say is,
time
like-
we were in town, we sold everything that didn't have an initial on it. Right, like didn't have someone's name on it.
I thought you were melting it down.
Oh, that there was that too.
Yeah, and you were only able to get through
Yeah,
some
you
of
were
it.
exactly. You were gonna melt down everything that had a name on it, but we sold the rest.
Or we already sold it.
I don't believe
Yeah.
you sold everything. I don't think you had enough time
No.
to
I
sell
do know we
everything.
sold a plate.
You traded. Yeah, I think all you did was trade some of it to a woman in a shop for some of the supplies you were getting for like the wagon.
That town you said was like
rebuild.
Deadwood. It wasn't very happening.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you
Also-
talked about wanting to sell all this stuff, but
Yeah.
All right, so let's just sell it in Waterdeep then.
The things we melted down. This is important.
Nine,
Had-
Nine, sorry, real quick, Nine. You do know from the information you gathered that this company, considering the nature of the work, like this is definitely not something people would be bringing their own wagons into the caravan with. This is like you would be joining on with like the railroad construction company and shuttling up on their shit.
I don't like that, but okay. Yeah.
The things we melted down were from Greenest, and they had the initials G plus S and C plus K on them.
We didn't melt them down yet. Orc didn't have a place to melt anything down.
Yeah, you just
He
didn't
was,
sell
he was
them.
in the cart.
Oh, I thought you said don't worry about it, and you kept winking at me. I
Yeah.
was like,
Or it can melt it down.
oh Jesus!
He hasn't done it yet.
You're still
made it
carrying
sound
all
like-
these contraband items?
Yeah, but we're
Partner's carrying it.
we're surrounded by like-minded cultists. You know, they don't
All right,
care.
all right. Yeah.
Okay. Out of curiosity, do we feel that it would be advantageous, or does Nine feel like it would be advantageous to keep after hearing what he's heard and the way these people talked about Ardred, would it be? Do I think it would be more beneficial for us to keep it as part of the disguise that we are like one of them, as opposed to selling it?
Sorry, like you're trying to infer if you think keeping some of it and using that to incorporate into.
Yes, hearing how everybody was speaking about Ardred, do I feel like I need to have this to fit in? Are people bringing him a haul?
Right,
or were
right. So the guys that you were listening to, clearly for them, it was more like we're just going to be hired on. Let him know that we are cultists. You don't know how other groups are getting any actual physical materials to him. But if you are to believe what you've heard, that sounds like it would definitely be taking place for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could do as a thing, I guess. But we're gonna be. I'm assuming we're going to the High Road Charter Company. Find an
Yeah.
Ardred.
We should go find Ardred for sure.
And wait, did we want to sell the stuff, or do we want to bring it to Ardred? Probably sell.
I looked down at Auric.
or
I
melt,
deferred-
or smelt it.
I can smelt it. I just need to find the guild hall inside. I don't know how much time it will take. Actually, I do know probably about how much time it would take. How much time would it take?
I mean, this is a
Grimlock?
shitload of gold. 2,000 gold is enough to
see.
buy the town. 24 days.
I mean, just to smelt stuff down. How
Yeah.
much of it? Like just the handful of things, or like a large
The-
amount?
The stuff that was marked that had some kind of initial on it or something.
If you went to the one of the guild-related locations in town, and you were using their equipment, I would just say a few hours.
Klug.
That looks
So
delicious.
precisely pouring it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Let's
let's
do it.
so
Let's just get on the road
okay,
and do it.
Mhm.
I'm done.
Let's go to the guild.
Get it done.
Let's just do it. And while you're doing that, we're selling the plateware that
Mhm.
doesn't have names on it.
Yep.
And
Okay.
maybe Aura can like use a kiln to melt the stuff down.
We're in Waterdeep, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah, yeah.
literally anything could happen. Waterdeep is
yes,
a huge
enormous.
town. We can sell magic items. They have stuff like that, right?
Everything.
I want to look for an agent of I keep
The
forgetting-
Harpers.
The Harpers.
That is a great segue
Yes.
to some
Into the guild hall.
Yeah, right before the guild hall. So, Matsu, as you all head into the city, you recognize a location, like a very small sort of hole in the wall tavern where you know you could find an agent of the Harpers. You don't see anyone initially, but after an hour passes, you realize that the barback, like one of the helping hands in the tavern, who goes by each table, wipes it down, looks around. It's like you quickly realize that this is in fact the Harper agent, one of the few that you had heard about in the city here. Um, he seems to recognize you and kind of like
Oh,
nods into like the back kitchen area and gestures for you to follow him.
I follow him
Is he
into the
by
back.
himself?
Does
Yeah.
Matsu
Am I
by
with him?
himself? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's
I'll go with him. I'll go with him.
okay.
I'm dressed as I'm disguised as a big fat weed merchant.
Okay.
Just me,
Buffalo
me and Gra, anybody else?
soldier.
Okay. You all three of you going back into the kitchen? Is this guy?
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not there.
I'm not there.
All right. Brings you back and says, I recognize you. Who are the others? And he's pointing to Matsu.
This is a traveler I have picked up. They actually picked me up when I was in distress. I believe that they are also part of the Harpers.
Oh, my name's Stefan, merchant of questionable wares and also unquestionable wares. Whatever you need, I can get it for you, especially if it has to do with greenest weed. And I open up my trench coat, and there's greenest weed, all different types, all in different little paper bags on the inside of my coat.
He's looking a bit perplexed, and he's looking to who else was there?
Just me and Gra.
Just you and Grant.
Oh shit! All right,
Okay.
I'm a weed dealer.
He was like, we should speak privately.
Brad
Looking to
snaps
Graz
his
if
trench
he's
coat closed.
I perhaps I can convince you to let my and I look at Gra and I wink at him and I say bodyguard to accompany me to dock.
You look back and I'm smoking a big, fat, greenish joint.
It's like, I understand you're new, but we don't share information with outsiders. And he says, I'm sure your friend wouldn't mind waiting, and he kind of gestures to you, Gra, whatever weed salesman man you are, to turn around and leave the kitchen.
Gra sees the hand signal, and he looks back at him, kind of like disgusted, and he gives the hand. He gives the cultist
he's
symbol.
giving me some fingers.
No, I give the cultist signal back to them. I've seen it before. I've seen
Oh.
it in greenest.
But
And
this
everywhere.
is a Harper though.
Right. I'm
I'm
so fucked.
Do you do that? Is that what you're doing?
I do not do that. I do not. I take it back.
Okay.
I follow the unnamed man alone.
Okay. He says, I was given your description from Grail. Were you successful? I see you're traveling alone as far as your other agents go.
I was found and captured. Unfortunately, I am the only survivor.
Well, what can you tell me? Are they here in Waterdeep?
Shit.
Maybe.
Do I know the answer to this question?
Yeah, you do. I mean, you can go so far for now as just to tell me whether or not you've explained to them what you know.
I'm gonna explain to this guy everything I know
Okay.
to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I mean, you do know from where you just were outside the city that a large portion of cultists are here, and you can basically verify his questions about the validity of the intel that they had, and that they are, in fact, moving things through Waterdeep, and at least moving part of it through this High Road Charter Company. He had questions about whether you had heard anything else about other means of transportation, like along some of the sea routes, or possibly through the Long Road. But all you have heard about is the North Road, the former High Road itself.
Hmm. Uh, traveler, please, what is your name?
You can just refer to me as Ro.
Bro.
Oh.
Row
He,
your boat.
Jesus
he's
Christ.
just shaking his head and wringing out the dirty bar cloth. He says, "We've talked long enough. We shouldn't be seen together anymore on this day. I will report back your information. Do you plan to continue on and follow them?"
I just nod. I just ambiguously nod.
Seek some of the other agents in the northern city if you need anything else before you depart. Uh, we heard that the company means to hire on new employees over the next couple days, and that a new shipment of workers and supplies will be heading north in about 3 days. Uh, our connections are severed, and he kind of just like turns and walks away from you.
Okay. I walk back to Gra.
Hey,
Uh,
what you learning there?
we must travel north. North is where I must go.
Where you must go. Alright, are you heading towards the mountains or towards the rebuilt road on the right?
I am fine with traveling the high road, if that is
Alright.
where we go.
The long road, eh? I'm not a fan of that one, but alright. Let's
I am
return.
like water. I will go where the path leads me.
Oh, okay. And then the Gra winks and he looks down at him. He's like, "Alright, let's go discuss this with our friends back in the wagon."
Okay.
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 Meanwhile,
So they head back to the wagon?
Yeah.
Is that what just happened?
You return to the wagon.
We
and No
return.
one is there.
Except for Grimlaw.
Except for Grimlaw.
Grimlaw is the only one at the wagon. Meanwhile, not at the wagon. What are you all
Where's
doing?
everyone? What?
We'll get
go
back to
real
you two.
Fast.
Yeah.
Mine will be really fast. I
Uh-huh.
go to the guild hall.
Yeah.
With, Krennic, can I borrow your bag of holding? How we doing that? How am
Oh.
I carrying all the things?
Oh no.
So Oric is at the caravan. We would have figured
No,
this out.
I mean we would have. Yeah,
Well, you would have figured this
so
up
we
way
would have do
before
a
they
thing
came
where,
back.
Yeah.
okay, look, let's do it all together then. We'll drive by the guild hall first, unload all of the big stuff. You know, I'm sure they have people who can help us out.
There is
and
a
then while you're
location in Outer City that you could go to, but you can't go beyond Outer City with a wagon. Essentially.
yeah, it's okay. It's not with
Yeah.
the wagon. It's just us on foot.
Oh, okay.
Back.
Okay.
It's on the way.
We get there, we unload all the big stuff out of the bag of holding, and then while you're smelting, we'll go sell everything else.
Did we get everything in the bag of holding?
Yeah.
Let's just say we did. And yeah, so like I said earlier, once we start to sell this shit, if Critic's willing, we get our troop together and we just do the same dick we did last time.
It would. You definitely could. It would. The amount of shit that you have in terms of actual volume, it would take most of the day to try to sell it all. Like in terms of just hauling it back and forth and actually, like even if you found one or a couple hours, which I'm totally fine with.
Perfect.
Just,
Yeah. It takes most of the day.
Sure. Okay.
Crickets happen.
Who is taking point on the barter the barter component here?
I will. I
9.
will. Yeah.
Okay. And what angle are you working here with this very large and strange plethora of things you are selling?
Oh, the same song and dance we did the last time. That the bitch only wanted a play setting. And we got this do 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 do.
All
And we're
right,
like fucking.
give me
just
a persuasion check.
Fuck it, give me a persuasion.
And I'm persuaded.
Oh,
him?
you persuaded.
I want to help
Alright.
him persuade.
Yeah.
Right.
He's helping me persuade.
What I'd like to
them.
do,
Yeah.
I'd like to do this. I've got this ability that I never get to use. All eyes on you. People see a
Oh,
bird and they're
yeah.
like, "Oh, strange creature," and I'm like, "I come from a land afar.
Oh
My
yeah.
friend here, we sell wares from the lands afar."
Oh wow, so these are some of these exotic items.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's a great word for it.
Wow. What are some of the places they come from? They ask in wonderment.
Yeah, this one, and it's a silver plate, and it's like, this came from the elemental plane of air.
This one, and I pull out this one that looks like it's a crystal. I say, this one is from the endless ice up in the north. They found it buried with a ship. They don't know how it got there.
Like there's some oohing and on. As you kind of carry, you see the success of this angle, going hand in hand with the wide variety of things you're trying to get rid of. And you manage to rope in like a few larger shopkeepers, and then you really kind of strike gold and find this guy who operates the equivalent of like a shipping yard. Has just like a few warehouses in the outer city district, and he says, "I'll buy the entire lot from you all. Obviously, not 100% value because I have to repackage these things in a variety of different ways, as you could imagine. But 1,600 gold, my one and only offer."
That's a shitload of gold.
And then,
Okay.
My
just,
men will
uh,
handle the offloading, he says to you about midday as you find this guy.
Oh, so it takes some of our day back.
so that is an amazing offer. Let
Right?
me confer with my friend 1 second, and I pull 9 over to the side.
Yeah.
And I want to say, okay, I just want to sweeten the deal with one thing. Because this seems like the kind of guy who knows things. Maybe he can hook us up with a place to maybe purchase some magic items or supplies.
Oh.
Okay.
And then it sounds like a good deal to me. I actually think this is great.
Okay. I go to him and I say, we were just over the moon with the cat who jumped over the moon, if you will, of how excited we are. Do you think we're happy with the price? Is there any way you could give us show us some around town or show us some magic items that we may be able to purchase at a good rate?
Sure. One of my guys could tell you a few locations, people we know who carry a wide variety of things. This is a very large city with lots of interesting wares like those I'll be taking off your hands. But
Well, we're looking for a merchant that you would trust personally.
sure,
Who might have items who would
I'll have-
not normally be above
Not for
board.
the tourist. Not for
Exactly.
the tourist.
Yeah.
You got it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we look
I'll have one of my finest employees fill you in on the details. So before we get to that, we have a deal, and like a guy produces some parchments, kind of got like this standard contract on there.
Oh.
All sales are final, blah blah blah. Clearly he buys and sells a lot of interesting things in this warehouse of his, and he just presents it to you to sign. You can see the lump sum total of 1,600 gold pieces.
Can I see?
Yeah.
I mean, is it an itemized list? How did I just sell this man my soul?
It's not itemized. It's not an itemized list. It's more. It says the lot of exotic goods, and from parties one, and like he's just got like a few blank lines
Yeah.
for you to sign there.
Okay.
It's more about the language of like all sales are final, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
That's fine. Just making
Just
sure.
lay out all the wares on the
Yep.
rugs of the room, and then there we go. Yeah.
Done. Signed.
Okay. He kind of bows, points to one of his men who goes over. They kind of bring over, like kind of fine, almost, say like almost like a plum-colored velvety kind of bag, and like you can tell like there's different sizes because it appears to be in measurements of 200 gold. It's just like 1, 2, and he counts all the way up, and then you end up with 8 pouches.
Yeah.
It says 1,600 gold. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. He gestures to one of those guys. If you don't mind waiting for just a moment, Darius will be down and he could answer any questions you have about the city. But I simply must return. I've got quite a busy day.
And
Oh, don't get
should we
robbed.
want to do business in the future, because this has been the most excellent
Service.
service today. What is your name?
Ah, you can simply call me.
Oh, I had a great name
Dingus.
earlier.
We will find you again in the future, because we will be coming back through Waterdeep. The most
You
amazing place.
You can call me Wakana.
Oh, Wakana.
I own several of the warehouses here and do quite a fine business with those who are more interested in quickly offloading their goods after a long road traveled.
Yeah. Wakana, it's been a pleasure. I am Krennic of the elemental plane of air. And this is 9. The...
You
What is your title?
Well, I don't really have one, I guess.
But you are the most amazing bard I have ever seen in my entire life.
You are too kind. You are too kind.
I
need a
can
title.
I can see that you two are cloaked in strange affairs and therefore very likely to come across a variety of things that might interest me. So please do return, should that be the case.
Oh yeah, my cape is billowing.
Ah, the scrumptulescent.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
You know, you could tell he's kind of got like a more than a piqued curiosity at the sight of a billowing cloaked tabaxi and a elven cloaked
Yeah.
white owl, bringing to him a small hoard of gold and silver objects. Okay, so you get your 8 velvety pouches.
Yeah.
Darius shows up, and have a think on what you'll be asking him. Auric, what are you up to? Smelting, delting.
Auric!
Auric.
Sorry, my
Auric.
audio is like cutting out on you
Uh-oh.
I
guys.
know.
Yeah, work is just smelting things.
Okay. Anything else you're working on?
I'm saying things.
Oh, your mic is
Oh, no.
cutting out. All right.
Alright,
Well,
well,
we
cut-
will
cut
return to yeah, we will return to
Where am I when?
Gra, Grimla, and Matsu.
It's just
Back
us on the cart,
back
man.
at the wagon.
I was there when they sold stuff.
No, you are back. We are now jumping back to you two returning from your meeting with the Harper agent.
Okay.
You are back at the wagon. You were hoping
Spread the
to
wagon.
spread the word about what you've discovered, and you find only Grimlaw waiting there for you, the kobold henchman of Oric.
Rob pours a big old beer for the turtle, and he hands it over, and he pours them for himself. He goes, and that's why I think they won't sell any of the money, because that's why we would blend in on the caravan. There's no way they'd sell that.
I turned to Gron and I'm just chuckling. You're so right, Gron. There's no way that they would sell all of the loot that would allow us to blend in.
I clink his glass. Clink.
Yeah, we
And I
clicked
drink.
together. And yeah, I drink too.
I wait for him to come back.
All right.
Can we cut back to Krennic and 9? We're like, we have 3,600 gold now.
Wait, whoa,
Nuts.
1,600.
Well,
Well,
1,600 plus the 2,000 that we had earlier.
No, that was $2,000 gold piece
We
worth
sold
of
2,000.
things.
Oh,
For
worth of things, or
1,600.
was
Yes.
no coins?
No, I mean there were some coins within that, but
Oh.
collectively,
We went down 400 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost money?
No.
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, you know,
Well,
you had to.
no.
I'd-
Because Oric is smelting down the
Oh, that's
other
true.
portion.
Oh,
Sure.
the other 400 gold?
No, he just had some things that were marked with
What-
initials of people.
yeah.
What value would you say? Oric wonders as he pours.
About
Towards
about 20 to
the-
40 gold worth.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. What was the point of that?
Oh, I thought it was a couple
Oh.
hundred. Okay.
Wait, so, Fiddy, did we
matter.
fuck up? Like you said we had 2,000 gold. And now we
No,
only
I
have
mean,
16?
you're trying to take a fucking wagon full of random ass shit,
Yeah, you laundered
approximately
it.
valued at 2,000 gold. Yeah, you had to fucking funnel it if you want to actually get some spending
It's
money
like
out of it.
Antique Roadshow up in this bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you got someone to take fucking all of it off your hands, save for what Oric had squirreled away to smelt, and gotten about 1,600 actual gold pieces from it.
Untraceable.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
alright,
so
we're
what,
good.
what are we
1,600
doing,
gold.
Kara?
We're good. Remember when I listened to all the conversations, Adrid wasn't gonna take. We could go into it without this. We don't need this stuff. We can just talk to him and say that we are one of him, and we don't need anything else because from what I gathered,
Nine definitely
Nobody
believes
else
that
was doing that.
there were a couple options on the table, that being one of them for sure. Yeah.
the other one was we go and we find out how he gets supplied and how it's being funneled through. Those were the two ways to do it.
Sorry.
So what?
Grog continues to drink on the cart until the rest of them come back.
Can I so we're walking back to where they just sold the gold, right?
No, you.
No, we're
you
on
were,
the- we're on
you
the
were back
cart.
in. You were back in the
We're
cart.
walking back to
parked.
the cart right now.
Okay.
All right. Well, in terms of where the action is at the moment, you've just received payment. You've got one of this guy's underlings willing to tell you anything he can, Darius. What are you doing? Inside the city, 9.
Oh, I was
Krennic.
walking back with Krennic.
Oh, to
We're
the
walking
cart.
back to the cart.
Okay. All right. You all
Yeah. Right, were we, Krennic?
you all reconvene at
Yeah.
the
Oh,
cart.
well, we should meet Oric
Oric,
again and
yeah.
to make sure that
Yeah.
we pick him up.
I was just fast forwarding because I wasn't playing.
Yeah. So we pick up Oric and we just
Alright.
go back to the.
Yeah. That's
All right. Somewhere just past midday on this this next day, you all reconvene at the cart. You've sold your goods.
Alright.
Gra and Matsu, you've returned with some information from your contact,
Oh.
and Oric, you're back with your smelted goods.
Yep. I just give it to them. If they're going to go buy stuff, I give them whatever I've smelted.
And I'm gonna share all the information I know with the rest of the group.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So, what are your next moves?
Let's go
Wait,
spend this money.
yeah, what did you find? What
Yeah,
did you find when
definitely.
you're going to exchange everything?
We found the 1,600 gold.
1,600 gold.
Oh,
I stick my-
his lips.
I start counting on my fingers and I lose track. That is so much.
I lean in
Gold.
close and I say, I'm not very good at math, but I think 5 ways 1,600. That's about and I just that's
Trail
the end of
off?
I trail off in my sentence.
That's
You just look off into the distance.
it's 320 gold each.
Here's your bag, and I hand him one bag of 200 gold because I see he's
Oh Jesus!
about that clever.
Wins
Nice.
tests his math.
Can I perceive if that
Dude,
if
this
I
is gonna be the
notice-
one time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
notice-
Yeah, sure.
Wait. Why
It'd be an insight check.
why is he
Insight?
getting
Okay.
a cut of what
I
he
I
earned?
understand.
Orange.
I have no idea why he's.
No.
The dwarf is showing.
No, I mean, I'm sorry.
Did you overcome an entire cart full of dragon cultists in order to get this?
Orc, shh.
No, I don't even know you. I don't know you at
Orc brings
all.
up a good point, but I've already handed him the gold, so I'm just gonna
Look,
leave it in
we're-
Orc's hands
it's
to
a
figure
small.
it out.
We're giving him a small cut. He is with us now.
You feel like they are giving you a fair cut considering you have only just
Okay.
joined
You
their
get
company.
200. Everybody else gets 280.
I mean,
Is that the real math?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just did it with the Windows calculator.
Nice.
Thanks, Bill Gates.
200 gold sounds pretty good to me.
Oh,
Uh,
sweet.
so everyone add that to your inventories, please. You just add a
Gra-
total on your inventory.
Grot takes
at
the
bottom.
money in his hands and it doesn't feel right, and he looks down at Orc. He's like, Orc, I don't know what this is for. Here, you could just take this. And I take 20 gold pieces for myself, and I just kind of spill it onto his lap. Like, I don't like this.
Okay.
Yeah, Gra, you can use that to buy food and spices.
How much
Chickens.
foods does this buy? And I hold up 20 gold pieces.
Quite a
don't
lot.
know.
Quite a lot.
Depends on who you talk to, really.
I handed
Saffron
him the
is a
menu
lot.
that was posted in the chat earlier.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, I
handed him the menu.
the rest
Oh.
spills down onto
But he
rough-
can't
that's
read
his
it.
lap.
That's a rough thing, yeah.
So wait, you just gave me 260 gold?
Okay, so
Okay.
Did
Add-
it spill on the ground?
There you go. Meat chunks are 3 silver pieces, so quite a bit.
I'll
Yeah.
take a bunch of meat chunks.
There's 10 silver and 1 gold.
taking a piss. Keep talking. I can hear you.
There's bread,
So you could buy
cheeses.
3 meat chunks. 3.1 meat chunks
With 20 gold?
with 1 gold.
Oh,
I could,
okay.
I could really use some upgrades on my gear. Like, how can I
Oric is
spend
our
gold to
Oric's our
shopping.
crafter.
Or can
Orc,
craft.
As it
smelt
turns
gold?
out, if you want armor, it's gonna cost you 199 gold. As it just turns
Oi,
out.
I think we should craft something to hold his balls back in his rock.
I think I'm gonna find a merchant that will sell it cheaper.
Good luck.
I don't know if you're gonna find one,
Yeah,
man.
no, merchants
Well,
around
I'll
these
get back
parts are
to you. I'll
pretty
get back to you.
stingy.
Yep.
Listen,
I'll keep my gold to my own balls, thank you.
buy all the materials. I will work with what you make or what you get, and I'll make you something, right?
What are you gonna make him, like a banana sling or
I-
something? Or
I
Yeah,
got a
banana
bunch
hammock.
of sticks
So
on the
just
road.
to- just
Can
to
you
be-
make me
Just to be clear, Matsu being a turtle,
Doesn't
you
need
can
very much.
you can't wear or like add upgrades in the sense of armor.
Okay.
You could certainly get other things like weapons, rings, amulets,
Can you
cloaks,
upgrade
Banana
his shell?
hammocks.
other
Can you-
shit. No,
You can't weld to his shell.
no.
It probably has like a really increased AC, right?
Yeah, turtles have a
Like
flat 17 AC, but can't wear armor essentially, or get dex bonuses
Gotcha.
to it.
Okay.
Can I check out Nine's rings? Do any of them have special
Oh.
Properties.
properties? Yeah.
Can you tell?
He
Uh,
picks out one in particular.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah.
holding on to all of them. I mean, I'm not fucking giving them to a turtle
well,
I just met.
I'm just inquiring. I'm just inquiring.
Well, he may look at
In
them.
person?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you would want to show them off anyway.
I would, but I did just give this guy $200, and now he's asking for my rings. It's starting to feel a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering why we found. Now I'm starting to understand why this guy was stuck in the fucking mud when we found him. Basically, it's the conclusion I'm drawing.
all right, whatever.
No, I'm
we
showing.
can
I'm
move
showing
on.
him to you, but
Here they are.
Nine's just like he's just not sure about.
Nine,
what the hell is this about.
you never sensed any magical properties on the ring. Like you normally, if something's magical, like you can kind of feel a little tingle, something a little
Gotcha.
special about it.
I look down at Turtle. Hey, Turtle. Rock. Do you know how to fight?
Yes. Would you like me to show you?
Who's around us right now? Who's around the cart? Is
All
it
of us.
nighttime?
Yeah, I mean you've all reconvened back at the cart. Nine has handed out various forms of payment for the haul that you've sold.
Wait.
It is about just past midday right now, so we can kind of quickly move through what you'd like to do next. If any of you are shopping or preparing or going on information seeking ventures, whatever you want to do, up to you.
Krennic, did you include Grimlaw in that cut?
Uh-oh.
Uh,
He's retarded though.
I divided
No,
by
he's
5.
smart.
Nope.
So
So
no.
doesn't know.
Grimla looks down from
We
the
just
loft
gave
up above.
Grimlaw like the
Just in his-
silver bow of the golden stag, which is worth
Bruh.
like
Yeah.
thousands of gold.
You took the words from my mouth, Krennic. I've been paid more than I could ever imagined. First with the good company and the grand show of faith, and second with this
Aw.
beautiful gift you've given me.
And Grimlaw, when you're with us, you will never go hungry.
I give him greenish chicken.
I also
throw a
say-
greenish chicken at him.
Well, also, Grod just gave Oric extra
Wait.
whole shares of money if you need it.
Wait, you guys sold that? Oh shit!
we watched
I
that.
just don't know what to do with. I don't know what to do with it. It means
You did
nothing
say-
to me.
You just like dropped it out, right?
Yeah. It fell on him. I can't help where it falls.
Grimlaw, if you would like the money I've received from Grot, it's all yours.
Oh, don't
that-
give it to that whelp. Come on,
That
take
would
it for
be
yourself.
unnecessary, Oric, but thank you.
What a guy, Grandma. It's a real stand-up guy.
Krennic, do you have any items in mind that you're looking to purchase?
Yeah, something that can help me dodge better.
Don't you
Well,
have like a 19 dexterity or something?
Here, why don't you take, I don't know, 300 gold and go ahead and go find it. I'd love to look at it though when you get it.
Since we're playing Drunks and Dragons on the heavier side tonight, the information that Matsuo dispersed after speaking with the Harper agent was very specific in the sense that this charter company was hiring people for their next set out, basically, which would be in about 3 days. And between now and the next couple days, they were hiring for those roles.
3 days. So we have 3 days.
So you have 3 days, essentially.
Oh,
Maybe I can go prove my strength to them.
maybe not. Maybe. Sorry, no. No, yes, you can prove your strength to them in 3 days. I was just thinking of different
I'm
things.
getting mixed signals from you, Krennic.
Sorry. I was consulting the menu.
Something else.
Krennic,
Maybe
you
we
add
should
that
buy
to-
back that lantern revealing that we
Oh
stole.
my god! Don't
The
need
one,
that piece
the
of
one that
shit.
got away, Krennic
Yeah.
can never forget.
I feel bad. I do feel bad, but then again, I think it was worth it. And I wink at Grimlaw.
And I'm
as
also wearing
as
my
nine
cape.
cloak billows
It hits Grimlaw on the
flamboyantly.
face. Yeah, the camera goes over to Grimlaw to show him doing something regal, and then my cape just smacks him in the face.
It smacks him again.
Oh.
He's back up in the loft at this point after acknowledging but refusing payment.
Can't escape the smacking of the cape.
Mhm.
Okay, so we want to find something dexterous. What are you looking for? Anybody else?
What is everybody looking for?
Krennic, make sure you add that 300 gold. I already took it out of mine. I'm
How
not
should
looking
I
for anything.
determine what I'm looking for?
There is in the OneNotes under that D&D 5e an equipment section, including a very very large magic items one. Let me see inside Fancy Grounds. It might be actually even easier. Actually,
so I have
it is
tons
not.
of-
You would have to look at the OneNote. And in a city as large as Waterdeep, with having someone who could actually help point you in the right direction, you could arguably find almost anything that you wanted to in a market such as this.
I was hoping to get an advantage because of that deal we struck with the merchant.
You absolutely
Wakana.
would, yeah, and essentially where normally I would have said, considering the size of the city and the help, you'd probably have about a 75% chance of finding stuff right out of the gate, within reason. With the assistance you have, I'd say it's about 90% chance. So there's really only a
Nice.
10% chance that you would go to a place and they wouldn't have what you were looking for.
90% yes.
Well, we
And
need to stock up on.
I will say, like, we'll kind of do what we
Healing
did
potions.
before. There'd be like a 3 strikes and you're out policy. If you try to find the same thing 3 times and fail somehow, it's
Yeah.
just not. It's not in this place.
I think we should find some more healing potions, and I mean especially for Gra, since he doesn't. He goes first, right? And we need to make sure he can stay up. And I can carry them on my bandolier too. I've got my healer's kit.
Mm.
Then
Hmm.
let's see what else.
Anyone else need anything?
I don't
No
need
idea.
anything.
Why don't
I'm pretty
we?
good to go and I have no money.
Why don't we do 2 things? One, skip shop talk until next session, so you can have time
Do a
to
little
look
homework.
at stuff,
Yeah.
and we can retrofit whatever you come to with how you spent your. We'll do a flashback how you spent your 3 days or whatever, and if before we wrap up tonight you want to jump to what your actual movement plans or interaction plans are with people over these next couple days.
I like it.
All right, Gra's gonna. So I'm assuming we're all going the long road. We're going right. Is that correct?
That I don't know how you would ever land on
Uh,
that conclusion.
Going
Yeah.
left.
Based on the intel that you have,
Exact opposite.
is the exact
Alright.
opposite.
The left side. I'm looking for the road that's being constructed.
Long road, right?
No.
There's one road that's being constructed by the cultists. I'm assuming we're trying to go for that one, right? Right.
There's one. Say it again. Sorry.
Yes, that's the one that we're doing. That's the high road.
The high road,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right. I associated that with the long road because I'm dumb. So we're going with the high road, which is the left-hand side one
Mm-hmm.
by the mountains between the sea and the mountains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Gra is he's secretly vibrating happy that he's gonna go with the mountainside one, but instead he covers it up by doing push-ups on top of the wagon for 3 days
Well,
unless
Nice.
something else
Thunk,
happens.
thunk, thunk,
Thunk,
thunk,
thunk.
thunk.
You can't tell if it's his muscles compacting or if it's his dick hitting the top of the caravan, but
And-
it's a thunk noise.
9, we should probably go talk to Ardred. Or whatever his name was. I think it's Ardred.
Ardred,
Sergeant,
yes.
yeah.
That's about right.
And we should get all signed up. We should probably try to sell the cart. We're not gonna need it.
There's a ballista in there, by the way. The secret cart.
Yeah, I know. I made it. And I think that's the main stuff we need to do here, apart from shopping.
Okay.
So we're gonna go left. We need some way to travel, right? Like we need a cart or something. Just walk there.
Yeah. Wait, we're selling our cart? What?
Well, we
Uh,
don't need a cart. It said that they were.
Going to give us one?
Yeah, everything was provided. We're
Oh.
joining like a railroad,
Yeah.
Oh,
a
I get it.
construction company.
I
But we
see.
don't need any possession. Well, I mean, we'll carry what we can carry.
Ha.
It's a matter of if you want to walk or not. We could maybe keep the horses. I don't know.
We're gonna need some more horses then.
We're gonna need a bigger horse.
Oric continues to try to explain things to you. The information you received is very much like you would be hired help to join in this company as contractors, essentially. It is a private guarded road at this point while the construction is ongoing, and no private mounts or wagons would be allowed on
so it's all on
such a
foot.
pathway. No, so you would be joining them and riding in their work wagons or
Yeah.
whatever on their horses, that kind of thing.
Highly regulated.
So Oric and others are, or who's going with Oric to meet this Ardrid, if that's what's happening?
I will go.
Should
9 as
definitely
well.
come. Yeah.
Okay. You have an easy enough time. They have the charter company, the High Road Charter Company, has a small recruiting office in the northern district of Waterdeep, closer to the road that they head down. It's kind of like, when there's like holiday themed like pop-up shops that show up for a few months. It's got that sort of sense to it, like they've just kind of like bought a space and have set up here, but almost like a military recruiting table. They are actively seeking strong laborers to join the workforce in rebuilding the glorious new road connecting Neverwinter and Waterdeep once more. And so they've got like all these like posters and things, marked all around that area of town. Easy enough to find, for sure.
Okay.
And you come in, you see some recruiting tables. You see a few people sat at those tables. Look like they're ready to like interview potential hires. And a slightly older, bearded human. Kind of looks like he's definitely seen some shit, but it looks like, very 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 stern, very upright. He's kind of pacing around, talking with a few aides in the back of this fairly open office.
Okay. We're walking up to this.
This is what you see from just outside the building. Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably go in, talk to him.
Yes. I agree. We walk in, talk to them.
We do it. We walk in.
We're doing it.
Taking us all night to get to this point.
We did it. We're in. I mean, you guys are in the bar.
you enter, and a couple of the employees kind of like perk up at your appearance, and they're like, "You all look like you're ready for some work. Here to join."
We are.
Yeah.
We are here to speak to Ardrid. Let him know that we are one
Oh.
of him.
I didn't realize you knew the boss. Give me a moment. Let me see if I can get him free for a few minutes. Please make yourselves comfortable. He kind of gestures. There's some seats where you can continue to stand.
I bow gently.
And they hear
I
the
bow
thunk
deeply.
thunk thunk in the background of Gra doing push-ups / cock-ups on the top of the barrel.
Thunk.
Ardrid it takes a minute or two, and he finally wraps up a conversation he's having with one of his aides, and this person who you just met, you can see him like pointing to you all, and he kind of arches a brow in your direction, and there's a private office in the back, and he sends one of his aides up to you while heading into this office and leaving the door open. The aide approaches and says, "Ardrid would be delighted to speak to you in his quarters." And he kind of gestures and starts walking towards said office.
Yeah. We follow.
Okay.
Yep.
And you enter. There's 4 chairs sat across from him, where he's at this very large desk with just like maps and ledgers and like little pots of ink and quills all over the place.
Perfect. How does he greet us when we walk in?
He says, "Are you here to join on our next expedition? We leave in about 2 days, you know."
Hi. My name is Elvis von Button Snap,
Oh.
and this is my troop. We are here. We were sent to you particularly, because we are one of you.
You're one of me.
Yes. I'm one of us. You are one of us.
And what
One of us.
exactly
Damn.
One of us.
what exactly are you trying to say, my strangely named tabaxi friend?
We were told that we will be brought to help the High Road Charter Company to build the gap. But we would be sent straight to Aldred yourself and be taken good care of.
Who told you this?
That would be Slevin of the 7th Caravan. He was one of the biggest load haulers of this latest river hauling.
Goddamn, dude.
This is certainly a interesting age for projects like rebuilding, wouldn't you say?
Shit. God damn it! Now I can't remember what the fuck is. uh, uh,
Yes?
what's the out of character? I have to pee real fast. What is the saying?
All hail the age of dragons.
Okay, thank you. I say yes. I'm back from peeing, by the way. All hail this age.
Do you repeat what Krennic was telling you?
Yeah. I say all hail. I just say all hails this age.
Oh.
That-
Being
Oh.
discreet is it. Just be discreet. Yeah.
Yeah, being discreet. I see he's playing coy. I'm playing coy as well.
Okay, you make an insight check.
Uh-oh.
I may have said the wrong thing, but you know,
Roll
living
down.
the dream.
Roll down.
Roll. Oh god damn it! This is the way.
Roll down.
Rolling
Alright,
steam.
alright.
You can tell that he's looking for you to confirm very explicitly that you are who he thinks you are.
I give him the hand salute,
The elite one.
the elite one with the finger wiggle.
It's like, God, Jesus, man, I thought my intuition was wrong and I had you three pegged a bit differently. For fuck's sake, man, just show me the symbol next time. We're behind closed doors. It's fine.
One
But
must
I-
be careful these days, and
I-
I open up my robes to the inside, purples and blues.
Yeah, nice.
I appreciate your discretion. All right, listen. We can make room for you on the workforce. Come find us in 2 days. You're like almost into the evening of your first day in Waterdeep. Basically, he's telling you not tomorrow morning or the morning after, but the one immediately following that. 3 mornings from now. Show up at the office here, and all of the guards and workers will be joining their private caravan north at that time. He says
We will see you
they main point of interest for you all will be the roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
That's what I have been told.
It will take you several days, but the caravan will set up shop not too far from the mere where the roadhouse is located.
I look forward to it, Audred. We will see you in 2 days.
Very good. And what was your full name again?
It is Elvis von Buttonsnap.
And
This is my troop.
and your other troop members who will be joining you.
We have several of them, and then
These
I
kind of like troop members.
I kind of
Yeah.
step aside because I didn't think of their names. I let them fend for
My
themselves.
my name is Rick Redbeard.
So deceptive.
Well, it's perfect because he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. roll
He's
the
kind of like
checks.
nodding, like taking in each one of his angels here.
My name is Nick.
Oh,
Oh,
Krennic.
simple. And the other two lurking off in the distance there.
His name
That's-
is Grub.
I like it.
And that's Tortle.
Not
His
turtle.
his parents were not as clever as some might hope.
Hammer pants over the grub. He's picking his nose.
I'm just extending and retracting my neck over and over again.
Look what I can do.
You're practicing your social graces and you're embarrassed. You're like, oh.
Very,
Yep.
very good, very good. I don't know the specifics of what your allies are doing up there. But our arrangement stands, and I'm happy to incorporate you with the rest of the workforce.
We also have, just so we are completely transparent with you, we also have a kobold with us.
That's not
A great
uncommon.
kobold.
That's not uncommon for some of your other friends either, who have come through in the past few weeks.
We figured, but we didn't want to be a miscount.
Very good, very good. Bring you and your troop, Mr. Button, and we will see you in a
Button
few
Snapper.
days.
You can call me
Yes.
Elvis.
I'm terrible with names. I'm sure you just have to remind me a few more times. It's very, very good.
This button snap.
No worries. Nice to meet you, Aldred.
Now, if you would, and he kind of like he almost goes like straight back into the work.
Perfect.
Okay, you have several days to do whatever it is you'd like to do before linking up with this work group going out onto the old abandoned high road. Should we pin it there and recap next time with what I would like to do next time is start, because essentially and we'll flashback, right? But assuming you are straight up just joining the workforce and moving out with them, any differences of thoughts on that, in terms of broad strokes?
Nope. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So that is very uneventful, and I would like to start next time with the Roadhouse destination. It's about 7 days with this company. The Roadhouse destination is up ahead. You've gotten some interesting looks from people on the road, but nothing, nothing confrontational. And so that is where we will begin next time. I'd like to start with our recap at the start, just kind of montaging through what you did with your time in Waterdeep.
Would we be able?
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. for
Yeah,
my
so
things and
so
stuff.
we that'll be like our prologue of next
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
we will do that, and then we will and be at
Get into
the where we just left it here with the Roadhouse just up ahead.
Cool.
Awesome. All right.
Thanks, Freddy.
Thanks
Alright.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
We made it.
Oh my
Two-
god.
Two no fight sessions in a row.
Yeah. And now we're
Well, we-
finally surrounded by the enemy,
Yeah, 60%.
fighting all the time now.
We are fucked.
Never stop until somebody's all dead.
I'll
I
just
think
be
we
in
should
the
just
back
go ahead and
retracting
join-
extending my neck.
We should just